Deontay Wilder. To this day. To this day. To this day.
boxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punches? I was hitting him with body punches and I heard him, actually he was crying in there. You were saying that Biggs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on?
boxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time? Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
alledgedly Productions.
Making women gestures like, oh.
Let's go, champ.
It's the champ. Shannon the champ. With the fake champ. With Tally Vitamin Cusco. boxingvoice.com.
I'ma treat him like he's a C+ fighter. I'ma dominate, I'ma dog this fighter.
I'm talking about punishment. We're gonna punish you for 12 rounds. Either the referee says you had enough, or you can say you had enough, or you can stay your ass there all night until you ain't had enough.
Hey, I feel I'm the best in the sport, and to be the best, you got to beat the best. And all I did was beat opponents. I worked my way from the bottom to the top. I won a title by beating top competition and top fighters. This guy was hands title, he's a paper champion.
Do you feel that you're the best super middleweight right now?
100%.
Let's go, champ.
He can bring the pressure. He can box. I'm a true champion. I'm willing to go to his turf in Atlantic City. I'ma step on him. I'ma crush him. Y'all can mark my word to this. I'ma crush him. He's a C+ fighter. I'm an A+ fighter. Come Saturday night next week, all the fans tune in because I'ma dominate. This guy is flat footy, swing wild. I'm not worried about who his trainer is because his trainer can't get in there and fight for him.
alledgedly Productions.
boxingvoice.com. boxingvoice.com.
Good morning, TBV. Yeah, I'm not worried about who sponsors their podcast because they can't get in their interview form. Nah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nest GTO, Instagram and Twitter. What's really going on? Yeah, it's one of them days, one of those mornings where the energy is motherfucking high because I don't know, I don't understand the hatred. And there's a lot of it. You know, you see the title and all the little, weirdos come out. Oh my God, I knew it. Oh my God. Well, we're going to find out if this is real. We're not going to do what these other internet channels do and just run with boxing scene forums. Because yes, this is where this 2,500 pay-per-view buy is originating from. A boxing scene forum, not a boxing scene article by a author that gets paid and works for the site. No, a forum. A forum. But the Wilder hate is so great that a boxing scene forum / rumor is on fire. Now, according to this forum, a one Rick Glaser is the one saying that these pay-per-view buys are at 2,500, tracking at 2,500, which is just ridiculous. I mean, what corporation would allow the pay-per-view to go on if it was tracking at 2,500? I mean, I think they would have known that based off pre-sales. I was able to buy my pay-per-view days in advance. So if it was tracking at 2,500, I'm pretty sure the network would have known. But let's continue to entertain the Wilder haters. Let's continue to entertain them. Let's do the due diligence that they did not. Let's contact Rick Glaser. Let's schedule him for an interview. Let's find out, did he really say this? Instead of pinning it on him, let's find out, did he really say that? And if Glaser said it, boy, we're going to have some good conversation this morning. So this is exactly what we will be talking about. If you want to ask Rick Glaser your own question, well, you can do so because we have the post out on Patreon for all our Patreons, all our supporters that want to see this show flourish and grow and continue to get these powerhouse interviews. You can head on over to patreon.com/the boxing voice and drop your question for Rick Glaser. Don't allow me and my co-host, Michael the Boss Gross, to change the narrative. Set the tone. Put your own question in there. Force us to act something that you believe we won't. Patreon.com/the boxing voice. This is what we're talking about. If you're interested, you already know. Hit that like button. As you're tuning into the live stream, it helps with the visibility of the show, and it helps us continue to get these big name guests that you want to uncover the stories that you believe. So let's head on out to Gross the Boss.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
With the stamp, 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss, 2 to stand over.
Turn up.
Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
And I'm in.
boxingscene.com. Yo. What up, everybody out there in the TBB universe? Back with another one, man. Check this out. It's amazing how I can type this in on the internet and see YouTube videos just pop up. No credible articles. Then I'm going down the list and I'm like, damn, where did Ness get this shit from? I seen the fucking forum. I said, I know good damn way he didn't take this shit from the forum. But he did, and I guess it's like he said, man, the hate for Wilder is tremendous. It doesn't make any sense. And if you think that this pay-per-view did 2,500 buys, then you just got on the internet like yesterday or last night. So we'll talk about that, break it down, get into it.
No, there's only 2 logical reasons. A, delusional, or B, a straight up hater. Now, Rick is going to have his opportunity to let us know. He could either say 3 things. I never said that. He could agree with it. And I don't even know what's the 3rd thing. Laugh at it, maybe.
It's definitely
The thing is, it was long overdue, though, Mike. I mean, we've heard our listeners talk about this man, Rick Glaser, for some time now. So let's get him on. Let's talk boxing. Let's find out.
refresh everybody's mind on who Rick Glaser is. You know what I'm saying?
According to the internet,
who is Rick? Who is Rick?
According to the internet, he's a legendary matchmaker, and has become a quote unquote insider. So I want to get his story.
Matchmaker. Who was he matchmaking for? Is he an insider for?
A lot of names back in the day, like Larry Holmes, things like that. I mean, just Google it. It comes right up. Comes right up. You know, and he's gonna be our guest. And again, most of those YouTube videos you speak of are using the alleged Rick Glaser rumor. Rick Glaser is saying that this is tracking at 2,500 allegedly. So, I think it's a good idea to get him on, find out what exactly is happening. But what I noticed, Mike, is that we've been friends on Facebook for more than 2 years. So I decided to go through some of those posts, and safe to say he doesn't sound like a Wilder fan. He was on the other side of the fence of the Lewis-Ortiz fight where he thought, wow, he was losing every round, and he got lucky. That's kind of the paraphrase or the sum up I'm going to go with from what I read. But we'll see. A lot of people like to point the finger at Glaser. Let's find out. Let's find out what he has to say and how juicy these conversations will be. I'm sure he's not going to release any sources, which is typical. He's going to say he heard. I don't know.
Now, is this the same guy that said Errol Spence is unlikely to fight again?
Probably, but he just put on his post like, hey, what happened to the Errol Spence Wilder Ortiz 2 sighting we were supposed to get? Mm-hmm. I didn't see him. You seen him?
No, I didn't see him. But
no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that literal. that was his quote on his Facebook post, like telling his people, like, I thought they was going to show, or I'm paraphrasing now. So basically he was telling his followers, like, I thought they was going to have an Earl Spence, sighting at the Wilder Ortiz. Guess not. And, kind of hinting like, I told y'all, you know what I'm saying? If you follow me?
Yeah, but didn't B. Custer say he'll be in Atlanta for the Tank Davis fight?
I mean, but the rumor was he'll be at Wilder's fight.
Yeah.
So, it's like, yo, he's coming to come. He doesn't come. Now he's going to come to somewhere else. Now we got to wait till December to find out is he going to come. But again, 9:30, we'll ask him all these questions. We'll find out as much as we can. I just find it super hard to believe. It's quite frankly impossible to me. Again, I bought the pay-per-view 2 to 3 days in advance. I'm assuming others did. I'm assuming they would have had some sort of analytic, Mike, to know.
I'm sure more people did what I did and probably bought it on the day of, or either went to the movies and saw it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know a whole lot of people that pre-order pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? I know,
Me and T Street controversy. Shout out to T Street. Why? Because we like
y'all big fans.
We like to influence too. Like, do what I'm doing. Don't wait. Support the sport you love. Order it. What's the difference between now and then? They're gonna charge you in the same month. Don't matter. You ain't gonna have to pay it till 30 days from now anyway. So half of you people who broke can't afford it, buy it. They charge you at the end of the month. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get $70 by then, something wrong with you.
Do what I did, man. Get some friends and y'all all go in on it together. And but if like I understand, like, you know what I'm saying, people having like skeptical thoughts about the pay-per-view because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people didn't feel like they wanted to see it, but after the fight, with like a lot of Wilder fights, you know what I'm saying, shit goes viral. But I just don't understand how, without any kind of documentation or any kind of source, you know what I'm saying, you guys can just run with 2,500 pay-per-view buys. Like, we don't even, like, nobody has said anything about the pay-per-view buys but a forum. I just don't understand.
It's the Mayweather effect. I keep telling you, Wilder is starting to cross over. Mayweather, no matter how many wins he had, they made a bucket of chicken. It said Chicken Mayweather. You know, they copied the colors and the logo of KFC, and they put Floyd's face there. It doesn't matter who you are, they'll tear you down. I seen last night, it was a toss-up between 3 shows. Dillian White talking hella shit about Wilder. Internet trolls talking hella shit about Wilder. Or Juan Manuel Marquez talking shit about Canelo. Like, the faces of boxing get stones thrown at them. That's the way it is. How is Canelo not number 1 on Marquez's pound for pound when he, in his own video, used the criteria of opposition? And then he puts people with lesser opposition up there. It's crazy. And this is what I'm saying. When things are crazy, we have to question them. We have to. We can't just sit back and be like, all right, 2,500, because that makes fucking sense. A man that's been doing over 1 million views on television, premium network Showtime. He's done way over 1 million on Fox. And we're going to assume 2,500 is the number to go with.
Honestly, man,
so let me just finish up with saying that's why I call it the Mayweather effect, because Mayweather had more haters while he was fighting actively than he had people that were defending him or praising him, you know, because people want more than what you can give them.
Honestly, man, like when I look at Wilder, bro, I look at the confidence, you know what I'm saying, him being a very outspoken black man. I think some people get intimidated and they try to find ways to like tear him down, bring him down, and this is like just another kind of tactic, you know what I'm saying? I was one of the ones that came out and said that I don't think that Wilder and Fury Wilder or Ortiz should have been on pay-per-view, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, I went out there and did what I need to do to support. And for all those fans out there who watch the fight, you know what I'm saying, illegally, then you come on and you try to bash them because you didn't buy the pay-per-view, that kind of says a lot about kind of person that you are. If you know you didn't buy it, then why would you come out and try to bash this man over and over and over and over again by coming up with stupid narratives like 2,500 pay-per-views? Like I talked to like this morning alone a couple people that just like, bro, that shit ain't real, man. Like that cannot be real. 2,500, you know what I'm saying? People out here trying to push propaganda and shit, but it is what it is, man. The real.
But isn't that the beauty, though? Isn't that the beauty that they didn't even use their mind? You know, they didn't use their intelligence enough to come up with a catchier headline, a more believable headline. 2,500, Mike. That's atrocious. That's ridiculous. It's unbelievable.
It's like maybe they have lost their mind, but at the end of the day, I think it's just a narrative that people wanted to push about what, like, they see him and like, how's this guy a boxer? How can he be a pay-per-view star and he can't even fight? Like, I was watching Joe Rogan last night, and the guy brought up a great point. Like, for everybody saying he can't fight on Twitter and all this shit, he's a boxer. He got 43 fights and 41 knockouts. He's a professional boxer. Who else has a record like that? You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't get it, man. Like I'm just a too big of
according to Dillian White on yesterday's Sky Sports interview, Wilder's fought 41 bums, and according to Dillian White, I'm telling you, man. Tell me the UK isn't delusional. Dillian White said he's the WBC champion. Look, he started off like this. He said, "Look, I'm the WBC interim champion. I'm the WBC champion. I'm the WBC champion." And then the next question is, what do you think of the WBC's champion knockout over Luis Ortiz? And he answers it as if he's not the WBC. You just said it 3 times that you was the champ. There's something wrong with the water over there. I'm just keeping it real. Something's seriously wrong.
Yeah, man, you can't expect Dillian White to give Wilder any kind of props.
But and at least he said that, Mike. Not cutting you off, just context. At least he said, "Look, I'm a big Wilder hater, so I'm not the one to be giving them credit." He said that on the video, which I respect at least.
Yeah, at least he's honest about it. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go watch the video. Then, you know what I'm saying? You make it seem like it's motherfucking excellent. So I'm gonna go check.
No, he talked a lot of shit. I'm telling you, it was gonna be.
Right?
Yes, it was gonna be the topic, but then I remembered this ridiculousness, and I knew that the Wilder haters will be pouring in by the bunch. Just take a look at the chat. Look how many people. Look how many people are watching. It's because they love to hate. They listen. Controversy sells. You think that he'd be doing these type of headlines if he did 2 million buys? No, they'd be still looking for a reason why that wasn't real. You know, so 2,000 is a lot better than 2.5 million. In the haters' eyes, but that's okay, because I believe that, like Mayweather, haters buy pay-per-views, Mike.
Absolutely. We got a super chat coming from Trenton Jones. Tracy Sims from Cincinnati, Ohio. That Rick Glaser, same line. He said Spence Porter only did 268,000 buys when we have mass credible sources saying over 350,000. He also admits that he doesn't like Al Heyman, straight clown.
All right. I mean, look. 268, 350 is about what? 80-something, 90-something off. That's not a bad, like, if someone gave you that tip, that's not a bad tip. You ain't that far off. And, I mean, let's be open-minded. Pay-per-view buys usually originate from the sources, and those sources usually are Mike Coppinger, who has some sort of relationship with Fox. I don't ever see Rayfield releasing PBC pay-per-view numbers, so I don't know. You choose to believe who you want to believe. But we'll have Rick Glaser on, and if you want to ask him a question, head on over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/The Boxing Voice, and ask Senor Rick Glaser a question yourself. We will be having him on to just find out what he knows about this boxing scene forum that claims he is the one that is alleging that Wilder's pay-per-view is only tracking at 2,500. Now, once again, just to reiterate, the only reason that I'm doing this is because I've received numerous messages. If you go through our comment section of yesterday's show, Mike, I mean, there's so many comments saying, yo, when y'all gonna make a video on Wilder's 2,500 pay-per-views? And I'm like, bro, this can't be serious. Like people really believe somehow that that Wilder could possibly only do 2,500 is insane to me. It really is. But, you know, just a few more minutes before we get Glaser on, and probably a few more minutes before we connect with Mike, who just dropped off. But yeah, man, I don't know. Now, I will say this. It has been, since Saturday? We're talking, today's what? What is today? Thursday? No, Friday, right? It's Friday. So we're talking about 6 days, 5 business days. Should we have had some sort of numbers, rumored numbers from a credible source by now? I guess that's a question to ask ourselves. Should we have had a number by now? Did it take Spence this long, Spence and Garcia, or Spence and Porter, or Manny and Thurman? I honestly don't know, to be honest with you, but I don't know. We should be hearing something. Now, we had a guest this week that said we might not see numbers, right? That was Brian Custer, who's also a PBC commentator and sports analyst. And he said that we might not see numbers if it's doing low. So again, is no news good news? How many pay-per-views were sold? You got 3 legit sources, if you do a Google search, reporting that Wilder received 20 million and that Ortiz received 7 million. So they do need to at least sell those pay-per-views. You know, I guess not to be in the hole or in the red. But we got a super chat from Demetrius Ramos. I admire Wilder as a fighter and also a great person. Wilder needs to invest on a grammar and speech coach to refine his manners and solidify his brand. All right. Well, thank you for the super chat. I mean, I think that's what people like. I think that's what people like. I think people like that he's reachable. I mean, we can relate, man. We can relate, you know. He's not mightier than I, you know. He's one of us is how I like to see it, you know. I've been with him multiple times, so I guess my relationship is different. You know, I've been with him cameras on and off for weeks on end throughout those training camps that I visit. So I get to see a more intimate Wilder. You know, I get to see the real him. But I'm being honest. Like, that's him on and off camera. You know, the guy with all the funny noises and stuff like that. That's him on and off camera. He's a jokester. He loves to rap too, freestyler all day. All day. So yeah, man, I don't know. But we got about 6 minutes. I think I'm gonna just shoot this guy a text and see is he ready. Maybe we can get it on a little sooner. I could also maybe give Mike a couple more minutes to connect here with me because it looks like his laptop restarted. But let me send Rick a text. And looks like we got, is that another super chat or is that the same one? Oh, okay, that is the same one. Yeah, man. So this is going to be interesting. We'll see how this goes and what can we learn, right? I'm definitely going to treat the interview like that. I won't be interrogating this guy. I'll be trying to see what he knows. See what he knows and what information we can get. It's always good to have an insider, right? We don't know. We won't label anything as hate until we fully assess it. I just, again, this rumor is harder to believe than most. I think people could have been a bit more creative here in the headline to make it stick, outside of no legitimate sources. It's just unbelievable, So I sent out the text and we're just waiting here. Mike still ain't connect with me, killing me here. I look depressed. Why I look depressed? Damn, man. The hell? You maybe stressed. It's the show business aspect. I hate having an interview and then like that dead air between him connecting, the whole, are you still available? Are we set for such and such time? Is everything a go? And it's like, I need a co-host to be doing that in the background. So, yeah, man. But, yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. Lets us know that you definitely enjoy what it is that we're doing, appreciate what it is that we're doing. And I'm telling you, it helps the show grow. And the more that it grows, the easier these interviews will become. Then we'll have a show producer who can be doing this in the background. We could just be talking boxing while someone is secretly in the background finding out if Rick is available and if he's coming on. Is he still coming? Is he ready to connect? All that good stuff done secretly in the background once you reach a certain level. So don't forget to head on over to Patreon. Not only can you drop a question in the Rick Glaser, a question post, but you will also be simultaneously supporting TBV and ensuring that we continue to do what we do over here on the high level. Andre Diakonu out in New Jersey says, if I don't hear the numbers from Kevin Iole, don't believe it. Let's just wait for Nevada Commission to release gate numbers, which should be out this week. Yahoo Sports is also a credible source for sure. They actually had Kevin Iole on the Wilder build-up videos. He was one of those reporters giving their take on the fight. So yeah, man. Check out the Border Wars hoodie. Don't forget you get your own Border Wars hoodie over at theboxingvoice.com/store. And that's another way to support TBV and ensure that we're around here. Look, man, we're 7 days a week. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. We were still here making sure that you have your boxing conversation on the way to work. Most people use it on their commute. Yes, 2,500 is way low. Don't believe it. Neither do I, my friend. Neither do I. But this is more of a debunk, right? A debunk. But we'll find out from the source. Look, I'm going to just call him. He said call him. But I tried to text him being, nice and all that. I don't want to wake anyone. But I guess I will be just straight calling him. All right. No mic, so we're going to give you some lobby music in the meantime while we connect. Let's see what we got for you today. We'll go with... who's Lopez intro? I don't even know what this is. Let's see. Eddie on Fury, Boxing Voice, TBV. Let's go with this one.
Boxingvoice.com. You seen what he did on Facebook, right? Listen, I'm gonna make a motherfucking emoji like this. Look.
alledgedly production.
Boxingvoice.com. All the guys want. I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. We done bust your ass like Mayweather. It was ball. My life has always been a fight. I sacrificed a lot to get to where I got to.
You don't think you're being overly critical to a guy that took a body shot and didn't go down?
That's no pressure. That's just my style. My style is dominant.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have connected with Rick Glaser, legendary box maker, insider, and we're going to talk some boxing with him this morning. Rick, good morning. How are you? First and foremost, thank you for the opportunity, taking out the time to come on the show and talk a little boxing. How are you?
Good morning. The pleasure is all mine. I'm in Las Vegas for the big fights on the ESPN Plus app tomorrow night. Coming from the Cosmopolitan Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, and look forward to everybody tuning in and watching tomorrow night on the ESPN Plus app, because it'll be a great show, led by Carl Frampton and Oscar Valdez in a doubleheader, and it'll be quite a show.
Now, Rick, if we could just get some background for those that may not know exactly who Rick Glaser is and what Rick Glaser does, can you give us a little bit of background into who you are?
Well, I'm located in Williamsville, New York. That's where I'm from. It's a suburb of Buffalo. And basically speaking, is for 28 years, I have been and continue to be the largest international agent, broker, and consultant in the boxing business worldwide. I do it every day, 365 days a year. I sleep in between calls, and I'm in business to serve. And I make some of the smallest fights in the world and some of the biggest fights. I also supply sparring partners for your major fighters and major fights all over the world. And I broker a lot, like I've said, a lot of deals on a yearly basis, 200 of them. And that's about 200 average per year. And that's what I do. And it's my sole occupation. It has been, like I said, for 28 years, and it's a lifelong passion of mine.
Which fight would you classify as give me your top 5 fights that you feel you've match made?
Roy Jones versus Joe Calzaghe, November 8th at Madison Square Garden, was a huge fight that I put together from scratch. Would be one. Duran versus Pazienza, fight number 1. They did fight twice. Fights. The reason why they're important to me is because they're fights that nobody thought would come together, and I'm the one that solely got all the parties in line and got everybody together. So those are important to me for that reason. Historically for me, there are 4 legendary fighters, and nobody thought those 2 fights would come together. I've made a lot of other fights that everybody said, "Oh, that was easy. That's a no-brainer," and this and that. But those were very difficult fights. The people were very difficult to deal with. Nobody thought they'd fight each other. For a lot of reasons. I understand that. So those are the 2 biggest ones, probably by that standard. I put together a lot of fights that were no-brainers. I mean, those ones are easy. It's the difficult ones that people remember.
And as far as this weekend, you're in town for the fights to watch, or you're in town because you have something to do with the Carl Frampton fight?
Well, I've got meetings with the top-ranked executives that are putting on top-ranked. Bob Arum's putting on a show, and I have meetings with their executives. And I've been here since Tuesday, and I'm leaving on Monday, actually. So it'll be a whole week. I brought my wife for rest and relaxation and for purposes for her, and some serious shopping for the wife. And I didn't want to be without her for Thanksgiving. And here to do business. That's all there is to it. It's not necessarily a show. Everything is around the show, yes, but I'm here for business.
So you were not in town for the Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz rematch?
No, I wasn't in town for the first one, though I'd be if they ever fight again for the third one. I didn't believe in that rematch. I thought it was a bit like a redundant fight. It turned out to be just what I thought it was, a redundant fight.
Okay. So obviously I wanted to get you on the show. There are some people reporting based off of something you might not have said in terms of the Wilder Ortiz 2 pay-per-views. Have you made any statements out there? Because the internet seems to believe that Rick Glaser, let me get this right here. It says
there's a rumor that somebody wrote that I said it did 2,500 buys.
Yes,
is that correct?
That's correct. That is what we are.
No, it's total. First of all, I've never given anybody any number on that, and after the fact, and how many homes it did. Beforehand, I said it would not do over 220,000 homes. But 220,000, not 2,500. I've never given a number since the show was. Not yet. I hope to have some more information today, but if not by Monday, and how many it actually did. But no, I had nothing to do with that zero. Somebody else actually hit me up, emailed me, and I said I had nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Beautiful.
Zero.
Glad to have you clear that up here on the show. So, can you tell me, I guess, what do you believe it would do? Because do you think that it's taking a little longer than usual? Internet seems to believe it's been 5 to 6 days, and by now we should have had some sort of alleged number.
Well, it definitely flopped. There's not even a question about that. I have a way. The reason why people always quote me, real quotes when it comes to pay-per-view is because my knowledge of pay-per-view is excellent. Number one, my pre-numbers are fantastic. As I told a well-known boxing promoter not too long ago, I says, I don't understand why you're going to do that fight on pay-per-view and take a guess. I can tell you what it's going to do beforehand. And I was within 1,000 buys of what that show did. Okay? And basically speaking is, I have a formula. Okay? Is if I put out 1,000 emails to fight fans. Okay? And to that I know they have their email address. And I look at to see how many are actually going to buy it and pay for it. How many are actually going to go to a movie theater and stream it? Go to a movie theater and watch it. And I can tell how many are going to say they're going to go to somebody's house and watch it. And I can tell by that how many fight fans are going to watch it. Then I have a list of 25 people that are personal friends of mine that are general sports fans that pay-per-view, that they will buy pay-per-view for certain boxing events. Okay? Well, on this particular case, all 25 people said they would not buy it. Okay? They won't buy it. 50% of the people, 12 of them to be exact, said that they didn't even know that there was a fight, on pay-per-view that going into that weekend. So that told me right there that it wasn't reaching general sports fans, and the general public wasn't going to buy it. Only diehard boxing fans. And you can, a show will never do over 200,000 homes without the general public, with just diehard boxing fans. So there's no way it did more than 200,000 homes. The original prediction I had was 220, but there's no way it did 200,000. They're going to come out with a fake number, don't get me wrong. Okay, but it's not a real number. It's not a real number.
Before I introduce you to my co-host, Michael Gross, can you just give us a reason to believe why your number would be more accurate than the number that comes out? I believe you reported 268 on Spence Garcia.
Well, my history over since 19, I've been putting out pay-per-view numbers to the business, then publicly, of course, since social media in 2009, since I went on social media in 2009, everybody knows promoters actually have paid me over the years to tell them how many homes pay-per-view will do. Okay, before they decided to do go pay-per-view or go regular HBO.
Names like
my
who?
numbers are respected in the industry. I'm sorry, like who? What do you say? Names like who?
When you say promoters, like Oscar, Bob, Heyman, or
Don King. Over the years, Don King, Bob Arum, including his staff have asked me, not him personally, his staff, his executive staff, Don King, Mike Atri used to promote Duran, he used to promote Paul Spadafore, then say it fights a pay-per-view, or deciding whether they were going to do it pay-per-view or regular HBO. Many promoters, and and also internationally too. So quite a few.
Has anyone...
So it's been a long...
I'm sorry to cut you. I was just going to say, has anyone in the recent, 5 years asked for your help on pay-per-views?
Yeah, of course. Off the top of my head, well, and let's see, Lou DiBella did, but we haven't talked since 2010. Top Rank does. Their executives call me, of course. Everybody does. I mean, I'm not obsolete. It's not like this is yesterday, and I'm not doing it anymore. I do it every day.
Well, let me introduce you to my co-host. I know he's dying to jump in. I've been just running through a dozen questions or so. Michael Gross in Indiana.
How's it going, Mr. Glaser? Good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
My first question for you is now, you are a legendary promoter, matchmaker, been in the game for almost 30 years now. My question is, how would you, if you were in charge of Deontay Wilder's career, how would you move him and matchmake him in order to make him that next pay-per-view superstar?
He's not going to be. There's no charisma there.
How can you be so definitive?
It's the results are there. He's been pay-per-view a whole bunch of times. It's not growing. His personality's not there. He doesn't attract to the regular guy sitting at home. He's just not that kind of guy. Some people are like that. Some people aren't. There's certain people that cannot attract the pay-per-view, and certain people that do. He doesn't have that kind of charisma. Now, you might think because of the fact that he's a big puncher, people will get excited. Those are diehard boxing fans that get excited. The reason why Mike Tyson was so exciting for people was because of the fact that he talked to people. He was out there amongst people, and it was a different era. Today, pay-per-view is a dead model. Everybody's going to the streaming services. If Mike Tyson was around today, okay, at his peak, at the Deontay Wilder peak today, he would not draw the pay-per-view numbers that he did. Would he do more than Deontay Wilder? Yeah, okay, he'd be do 500,000 homes and not 250,000. But that's what it's about. It's a different era today. Everybody keeps talking about pay-per-view. It's dead. It's not what it was and isn't coming back. We've moved on from that technology. Just to let you know, at one time, there was radio, then it was black and white TV for boxing, then it was closed circuit, then it was pay-per-view. We've moved on to the apps. A lot of people laughed at those apps 2 years ago. The numbers are there. They're not laughing. They're putting on the biggest fights in the world on the apps. Joshua Ruiz is on the app. Joshua Ruiz 1 was on the app. 2 was on the app. All of Top Rank's big fights are on the app. It's the way to go. It's worldwide. Pay-per-view is not worldwide. Pay-per-view is limited to a country. It's called the United States. Okay? And then you got to go out and sell the foreign TV rights. The apps are worldwide. And the reason everybody's looking for Dazn to fail, Dazn is not going to fail. I'll explain why. one of the most popular sports in the world is cricket, believe it or not, and soccer. Well, soccer number one, cricket number two. We don't. Soccer is small in the United States. Cricket is non-existent in the United States. But okay, in the app world, they have soccer and cricket on the Dazn app. Now, could boxing fail? Could boxing only fail on the Dazn? Could it? I don't see that happening. I think they may cut the amount of shows down that they do to like maybe 18 a year or 24 instead of having 60 shows. But it's not going to fail. In other words, will they budget their money and come out with a new business plan? They could possibly, but the apps are here to stay, gentlemen. ESPN's app business is growing 200,000 buys per month. Per month. That's 2.4 million a year. That's scary. Those are scary numbers. That's where it's at. I called for years, jokingly, the best buy in America was the Frosty at Wendy's for $1. Couldn't get a better buy than that. I now have changed to the ESPN Plus app for $5 a month. You cannot. It's an entertainment tool. Let's forget about boxing. It's got UFC. It's got Major League Baseball. It's got hockey. It's got all kinds of college basketball, NCAA basketball.
Rick. What is the best boxing fight they put on, though? Like, what's the best boxing fight the ESPN put on this year? 2019. Better be Vazd.
They just put on. Yes. What's wrong with that?
Tell us what the views were. Tell us what the views were on that.
I don't know. I don't.
It was in Philadelphia. It was in Philadelphia. It was in Philadelphia, like in a 2,800 room arena. Come on, what do you mean? That's the biggest fight of the year.
That has nothing to do with how many acts. Well, hold on. Fury and Wallin only did, I don't know, low amount of people showed up worldwide. Millions saw it. It's a different. That's apples and oranges. You cannot ever go in boxing by how many people buy tickets. It's how many viewers that are watching. That's the key thing.
Who tuned in to Fury Wallin?
There's no correlation.
Wallin popped
Everybody
out. He
worldwide.
popped on the scene like 6 weeks before the fight. The WBA literally slid him at number 4. That's not true. They slid him at number 4 the week of the announcement. Rick. We had Salita on the show.
I've known about. Listen, I'm not disagreeing where he popped up in the ratings, but he's been on the scene for a long time. Before Salita had him, he fought in Germany for years. Okay, for the Sauerlands. So I don't know what you're referring to there when you say popped up. Popped in the ratings? That's a possibility.
Pop up in the ratings and be a viable opponent.
Listen, let me ask you a question. Why did he did he make a bad fight?
No, he didn't.
Was he a bad opponent?
No,
turned out to be pretty good, didn't he? Okay. Turned out. All I'm saying to you, gentlemen, is the pay-per-view model is dead. Okay? And the apps are the future the immediate future of boxing for the foreseeable future.
But if we're going based off numbers, and Floyd is the highest standard, right? He's the dude that, he set the bar in terms of pay-per-view sales. Well, his first pay-per-view.
No, that's false. Whoa, that's false.
Wow.
That's false.
So who's done more pay-per-view numbers?
Fight, that's completely false. Oscar De, except for you take away one fight, which took 7 years to make and all the publicity behind it. You take away Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd, and that was as much Pacquiao as it was Floyd. Okay, you take away that fight right there. Oscar De La Hoya's numbers are way higher per fight.
But explain to me, why would we take that away? It's something that he achieved. Why would we take that away just for your comparison? I don't get it. He achieved it. Why would we take it away?
No, nobody's taking anything away.
Well, you just said if you take away that fight, you said if you take away that fight, then Oscar's numbers are better.
No, we're not taking away that fight. I'm just saying that one particular fight when Oscar fought Pacquiao, it was 2.4 million buys. Don't believe the 4.5. It did 3.3 million buys. What's his name? Pacquiao and Mayweather did 3.3 million. Okay. In the meantime, all the other buys, all the other fights that Oscar ever had on pay-per-view was higher than Floyd's. Every one of them. Okay. And that's a fact.
But you still have to add Floyd's numbers in totality. Both men retired, and both men have a totality of pay-per-views, and Floyd has done better numbers overall. That's just, and that's not my point. The point is, I'm trying to use Floyd as a barometer for his first pay-per-view, right? So we could at least use Earl. You're saying pay-per-view was dying. Floyd did around what would you say with Gotti?
I don't remember. It's a long time ago.
I believe
if you would ask me.
I believe if we Google it, I think it's 365 if we Google it.
It sounds right. That sounds right.
So,
under 400. Sounds right.
So for Earl to do either your 268 or the reported other sources of 350 as his first pay-per-view with Mikey doesn't really show that boxing pay-per-view is dead. He's on par with a superstar.
Well, it does. It does. It does. Here's why. Because the 268 was not totally pay-per-view number. There was also the streaming number included in there. There you go. Those both combined.
But don't you still got to buy it as a pay-per-view on the streaming service? So shouldn't it count towards the overall number?
No, right. But my point is more people are streaming because it's about apps today. That's my point.
Agree with that point. I totally agree.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree that the apps are more convenient too. But remember, this Wilder pay-per-view was on the Fox app, and you could order it there and watch it there, and then have it on all your devices.
I definitely agree with you, and I don't have a number yet to say, but I don't believe it did over 200,000 buys. I thought my original prediction was 220 before when the show was announced, after the undercard was announced and everything else, and I don't believe it did over 200. I can't see it.
I kind of want to get back to that.
The general sports fan was not buying it. Based on the numbers that I looked at for my responses for the people that I regularly interact with. When I do my surveys beforehand, leading up to the fight week. Now, because Fox put a lot of advertising into it the last 72 hours, could they've got more buys? Sure, they could have, but it didn't stand to reason overall because those last buys only add to a good number to start with. They will contribute to a bad number.
I want to get back to Deontay Wilder and you saying that he's not really a superstar or he's not that charismatic, and that's why his pay-per-view numbers don't translate. Now, Ness has told me over and over and over again, like some people got the thought like, why would I buy a pay-per-view when they just going to show all the highlights on Instagram or Twitter? And when they do show those highlights on Instagram and Twitter, they do millions and millions and millions of views. You got Joe Rogan coming out and talking about Wilder knocking out Ortiz. You got Charlamagne the Guy coming out and commenting on Wilder knocking out Ortiz. So you got a lot of people that seem to be invested in the Wilder fighting. So I wouldn't agree that he's not a superstar. I just think that the pay-per-view model, like you said, could be dying, and I think Showtime and Fox should try to come up with some kind of streaming service. To that you say?
Well, let me ask you guys a question, okay? Because you both are intelligent gentlemen, or you would be with doing what you're doing. So we're gonna take it for granted that you're both intelligent. What would you rather do? Spend $80 for one event, for one night, or would you rather buy the ESPN for one boxing event now, or would you rather buy the ESPN Plus app and get all kinds of sports content 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, all kinds of sports, everything, including the biggest fights that ESPN puts on, okay, for $5 a month, which is $60 a year. Or you can go to Dazn and get it for a year also and get $120, okay, and get all their big fights and their little fights too, as is ESPN. So now, just to give you an idea, ESPN is putting on the app 66 boxing shows a year, and the other company, I think, is putting on 60. Okay, so that's 122 events that you can watch for $180, or you can watch one event for $80. Gentlemen, I think it's a no-brainer if you're looking at dollars and cents compared to entertainment value. So my point is, the pay-per-view model is completely broken. Completely broken. It's done like a dinner, and it's leftovers. I mean, it's yesterday's news, and it's just the way it is. It's not. I'm not just blaming Deontay Wilder. It's the era that he's in, and it's a sad situation. Do I think he's a pay-per-view attraction? No. Now, could he have been a better pay-per-view attraction if he was around when Mike Tyson was around? That he is, yes, but he would never been that kind of attraction. He's not that kind of guy. He doesn't relate to people well.
I don't know. So then, how do you explain?
Well.
How do you explain the Pacquiao Thurman doing 600? That's a good number for people that thought Thurman was coming off a 2-year layoff, multiple surgeries. You know, that was a given that Pacquiao should have won in the eyes of the hardcore.
It did. First of all, it didn't do anywhere near 600. Okay, and like I said, I don't remember what it did offhand. Okay, I'd have to go to my records. Like I said, if I would have been asked that question, but it didn't even do 450. I don't remember what it did. If I remember, I don't really know, but if it did broke 400, that would have been a good number. Well, how do I explain why it did 400? Because Manny Pacquiao's Manny Pacquiao. It's that simple. Okay, just like when the Oscar fought. Oscar was Oscar.
But that's what I'm saying. So how could the model be broken for certain people? If pay-per-view is broken, it should be broken for everyone.
Because you're looking at a completely different demographics in a Filipino fighter. It's an event for the Filipino people. So in America, it's a huge event. They plan parties around it. They kick off of work. It's a big deal all day.
So a quick Google search.
Like that's an all-day affair.
Quick Google search shows everyone reporting 500,000 pay-per-view buys for Pacquiao Thurman, which is Thurman off a 2-year layoff.
It was in the 4th. Yeah, but that has nothing. That's Pacquiao. Pacquiao could have fought a less of a name than a Thurman, and he still would have done really well.
So you don't think Pacquiao Earl? Give me your projection for Pacquiao Earl. Pre the accident, though.
You mean if it was going to happen? You mean period?
If it happened or was going to happen, but before his accident,
550.
What? Man, you're hard on pay-per-view, Rick. Come on, man.
I want to get back to your ESPN
I'm
Plus.
Just telling you. Sure.
The biggest problem that I have with ESPN Plus is sometimes they start their undercard on the ESPN Plus card, and then you have to go to ESPN to watch the main bout. And sometimes a football game or basketball game might run over, and they'll have it on ESPN2 or ESPN News. That's the biggest problem that I have with the ESPN Plus app. The Zone, I don't have any problem with them because they do give us a lot of bang for our buck.
Well,
but ESPN is selling us pay-per-views. ESPN's not even a streaming app. They're still selling you pay-per-views. They're no different than the Fox app. DAZN is the only true non-pay-per-view streaming service. ESPN's charging $5.99 a month. Then they want to charge you for the trash Crawford pay-per-view, and they're gonna charge you for the Wilder Fury pay-per-view.
Well, that's a co-deal with Fox. You can't blame that at ESPN.
But if you
that's the
put
other side to
Crawford and
consistency, Jules.
Khan on pay-per-view, you gonna put Wilder Fury on pay-per-view. So it's not about the deal being crossed or two different broadcasters.
Let me explain why Khan was on pay-per-view. There's a reason. And Americans don't understand this, and nobody has explained this to you guys, but I wanted them to enlighten you. Okay, the aura of Khan was the international draw, which was the UK and all the Middle Eastern countries because of his background, his ethnic background and religion. Okay, when you put it on pay-per-view in the United States, you can get twice as much money for the foreign TV rights because it sounds more prestigious of an event. Okay, that is why that was on pay-per-view. For the sole reason, and nothing to do with the American buys. As Bob Arum said, whatever it brings in, okay, that's great. Okay, but the money was in the foreign TV in that fight. So they probably Khan got $5.5 million, I believe, or $5 million for the fight. Okay, I don't remember if it was 5 or 5.5. Don't hold me to that, but it's 5.5. So in the meantime, is 5.5. Okay, I don't. Like I said, I don't remember offhand. Okay, in the meantime, what you have here is this. Okay, it probably brought in $20 million in foreign revenue instead of 10. Just to give you an idea, that's the reason why it was on pay-per-view. Okay, it was not on pay-per-view because Arum thought he was going to make a killing on pay-per-view in America. Okay, that's why it was on pay-per-view. That's the sole reason why it was on pay-per-view. And because the countries who was attracted to him, which is the UK and the Middle Eastern countries because of his ethnic background and his religion, okay, that's what made that fight pay-per-view. It had nothing to do with what Bob Arum or ESPN thought it would do in pay-per-view buys in America. Zero. Okay? So that's why. Now, I know nobody explained that to you. Okay? And I'm glad I was able to today. So that's a great reason why you guys had me on the show.
Okay.
You understand better?
No. I've been saying the reason why they put it on pay-per-view is because Khan's a big international star, but I didn't know you could charge twice as much in that region because it makes it seem more prestigious because it's an American pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, okay, I want to get back to
that's what happens.
My ESPN point. Why, if I'm a casual fan, do I have to switch from ESPN Plus to ESPN 2 to ESPN regular?
That's an internal problem that they're working out. Okay, Top Rank is not happy about that, and ESPN is not happy about that. They are working that out now. Okay, so we won't have that situation, I don't believe, in 2020. That's something to work out. Don't forget, Top Rank's deal with ESPN is 7 years. We only just into our second year. They're working out those problems. It doesn't happen all the time. It does happen. But it doesn't happen regularly. It probably happens 4 or 5 times a year, which is 4 or 5 times too much, gentlemen, to be honest with you. And I definitely agree. 100%.
It's probably going to happen again December 14th because of the Heisman Trophy ceremony. But I want to get to the Wilder Fury pay-per-view.
Well, one leads to the next. That's true. No question.
I want to get to the Wilder Fury pay-per-view. What have you been tracking those, or have you even started your little formula thing yet?
I haven't done anything yet. No, I haven't done anything yet. It's too far away. It's too far away. Leading up to the fight. Now, if somebody would have commissioned me to do so, paid me to ask me, how many homes it'll do, then I would have done it already. But I won't do it till probably about 10 days out before the fight.
What did you make of the KSI and Logan Paul bout?
Oh, it's not boxing to me. It's using boxing, the boxing fans and the general public to facilitate a payout frenzy, and that's not what I do. I'm a boxing traditionalist. I don't agree with those kind of, fake fights, phony fights and stuff. So it's not boxing to me. I'd rather watch two flyweights from Thailand fight than I would watch something like that. I'm a real purist. I'm old school. Yes, gentlemen.
That was my last question for you, Mr. Glaser.
Oh, so just to sum up, this rumor, you did not say that it did 2,500 pay-per-view buys, and you think that is ridiculous.
No. It's completely like I said to somebody that asked me, I said, does that even sound like me? They says no. So somebody asked me about it. I said a personal friend asked me about it. I did, that I know personally. I go, no. He goes, no, it doesn't. I go, okay. So no, impossible. I mean, just to let you guys know, a minimum pay-per-view will do 75,000 homes. Minimum. You just put it on pay-per-view and advertise it as professional boxing with a world title fight on the card as a main event, and you will get 75,000 homes.
Why did Crawford and Poster only do 50,000?
No, dude. That did 149,000. I predicted it. Which one did you say? I'm sorry.
Crawford and Victor Poster.
Victor Postal and Crawford.
Yeah, his first pay-per-view with Victor Postal for the WBC unification.
HBO.
No, it did 70. It wasn't HBO. It wasn't HBO. I don't think. I think Bob did that independently. I think it was like 78,000 homes. Did shitty number. Didn't do 50,000. Like 78,000. It was very low, but it wasn't that low. Con Crawford did for 149. I predicted it would do 150. I said it earlier. I was 1,000 off. Did 149 and did 150.
Rick, let me get your thoughts. Since you seem to be pro streaming apps like most boxing fans, because I'm definitely pro streaming apps. I love that, even though it's not safe, but I love that I could take the boxing on the go when I got to do things. But what's your thoughts on Wilder not taking that $120 million offer for Dazn? I'm sure you know all the details about that.
Oh, I think it was a very, very, very bad decision. But I think if you want, I can never fault loyalty. Okay, so in other words, was it a financial mistake not to take $120 million? Yes. Was it a unethical thing or unmoral or not moral? Gentlemen, that's Deontay. That's not Deontay Wilder. And if he felt that wasn't being loyal, then that was on him as far as how he felt. And I don't have anything against it, but
well,
his reason financially was a mistake, but ethically.
Let me just give you his reason. His reason was that, when they asked what AJ would be getting in the fight versus Wilder, Mr. Skipper could not give that information. So I seen a headline. I'm infamous for not reading all articles, but I did see a headline. Mike, am I wrong about the whole Skipper thing coming out saying that he felt he was wrong on that, or is that just internet bullshit?
I believe his quote was, "If I could do some things over at that meeting, I would." Okay,
so yes, Wilder's reason to me when I interviewed him was, they wanted to know what was the total sum, which I think is fair. You're gonna fight someone, you want to know what he's getting. I'm sure Pacquiao knew what Floyd was getting, and Floyd knew what Pacquiao was getting. So I didn't think that was out of the norm, or do you?
I think you're 100% correct on that. 100%. He had Deontay Wilder had a right to know. Absolutely, not even unequivocally.
So then it isn't right that he didn't take the deal. So he did the right thing by not taking the deal, because they're offering you $120 million. Well, here's the thing. They're offering you.
I said to you.
No, I'm just trying to rephrase it to you.
Morally, he did the right thing.
But even financially, though, right? Because if they're offering you $120 million for 2 fights with AJ, but they can't tell you the total sum of either fight with AJ, why?
No. Well, that's ethical. That's ethically involved. No, that's ethically. He's correct on that. Okay, but it's still $125 million, no matter what AJ's getting. So financially, it was a mistake. Ethically, and morally, it was not a mistake. So you're sort of like caught in the middle there. What I would have done if I was him. This is what I would have done if I was negotiating for him. I would have said, you get back to me with a bona fide figure on paper what Joshua was getting, then we will make our decision. That's what I would have done. Okay? So they never did that. I don't know why they didn't do that, but they didn't do it. Why I sort of believe that story's for a lot of babaluba, a lot of bullshit, because Lee Finkel's went there with him, and he's an experienced negotiator. And in the meantime, he would have wanted to know what the fighter's getting. He would say, "Well, get back to me as soon as you know." Bona fide on a piece of paper. So this way, if they put it on paper that this is what he's getting, blah blah blah, and Skipper signed it off on it. Okay, that means if there was any more than that, they could have sued. Okay, they could have sued for fraud. So Shelley knows that. Shelley Finkel knows that. So I believe that's a line of happy horse shit. That's how I feel.
I got to ask you one more question, Mr. Glaser, and I got to kind of hold your feet to the fire, man. Now, when you say Wilder is not relatable, he doesn't relate to the fans or the people, I got to kind of disagree. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people, in my opinion, the people that I know and what I've seen on the internet, ask me about boxing just to watch Deontay Wilder's fights. And I think he does relate to the casual fan better than Mike Tyson did back in the day, because coming up, Mike was mean, menacing, say things that people felt uncomfortable about. Wilder does some of that similar stuff, but for the most part, he's a gracious kind of guy. To that, you say what? Well,
did you ever think that Mike Tyson had a real promoter behind it? His name was Don King, who was a real promoter, not a figurehead, some guy running PBC that nobody ever sees, and a promoter that nobody's ever heard of, and nobody needs to listen to him talk. Don't you think it helps to take that show?
Well, Rick, we're losing you there, Rick. We're losing you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna start listening.
What do you mean you're losing me?
Yeah. I don't know if you stopped talking into the receiver. I said I don't know if you stopped talking into the receiver or after saying Al Heyman's name.
I don't know.
He clipped your phone.
Sorry. Okay. No, I didn't mention his name. I never mentioned Heyman's name. All I said was some guy that sits there behind a phone and a desk, or a promoter that they hired to be their promoter. When Don King was around, okay, he got him on all the big talk shows, late night talk shows, talking about Mike Tyson. Mike and Don were on together. Don was on promoting. It was a different era, and they had a real promoter. He doesn't have a real promoter. Who's his promoter? Who promotes Deontay Wilder himself?
It's now Mayweather Promotions now. The last 2 fights, I believe, have been Mayweather Promotions.
Big deal.
And do you really need a promoter in this day and age with the social media and so how easy it is to get to the fans?
Well, let me ask you a question. When was the last time Deontay Wilder was on any of the nighttime talk shows that on TV, on network TV?
Rick, that's the thing of the past now. People watch stuff when they want to watch it. Like, I can watch an interview from this morning with Deontay Wilder whenever I want to watch it. I don't have to subscribe.
Listen, I will give you the truest example of public awareness. Somebody's mother. My mother saying to me, "Oh, when's the little guy Manny fighting again? When's that Mayweather fighting again? When's Mike Tyson fighting again?" She doesn't ever ask me about Deontay Wilder.
On the contrary, we're here for Thanksgiving, And I showed my mama a clip last night of Deontay Wilder, and she asked me why did he hit that boy that hard, and when is he fighting again?
Well, but I get that. Okay, and that'll happen. But understand that across America, we're dealing with America, and people don't know about Wilder. I'm not saying people shouldn't know about Wilder. He's a unique talent with his punching ability. He can't box a lick, but he can punch. There's no question about it. He's a ferocious puncher. Okay, but nobody knows him. There's not enough people who know him. Okay, he doesn't have a mouthpiece besides himself to promote him. He needed a Don King or somebody like that to promote him. Just like when Fury came over to America, who did he choose? Bob Arum. He says, that's the guy I want to work with, Bob Arum. He'll do this, he'll do that. And he's done that. He's done that. Believe this or not, gentlemen, Fury is a very popular fighter, well known. And that's a fact. Does it translate to asses in the seats in the arena? No, it hasn't. One show did 9,200 people. The other one was a complete failure with Wallen. But it does translate the pay-per-view to the app purchases and the uptick that ESPN received when Wilder fights. So they're leading up to the fight in the prior 72 hours for all the new buys that they get. So I mean it's what it's about, and I think that. And I know I'm not a fan of Al Heyman, so everybody knows that. Good reason not to be. Okay? But Al Heyman has failed his own fighter in that area. Not in other areas. In that area. Right there. He's failed. Because if he had a real mouthpiece speaking for him besides himself.
So why is Wilder more popular than Crawford?
Let me ask you a question.
Crawford has the mouthpiece in Bob Arum and the network and ESPN. He's done everything right, and his pay-per-views have sold less. His pay-per-views have sold less. He's done 2. They've sold less, regardless of whose numbers we use.
First of all,
I mean, you just said that you think Wilder's going to do 200. That's still more than everything that Crawford's done with Top Rank and Arum.
What do I believe? Crawford's not a good mouthpiece himself. He's the opposite of Wilder, even though he's got a mouthpiece.
But why do you need to be a Rick?
Appearances.
Rick, but that's the opposite of what you're saying. You're saying you need a promoter to be your mouthpiece. Now you're saying the fighter got to be a mouthpiece too?
No. You need both. Wilder doesn't have one. Wilder's been a decent mouthpiece for himself. He doesn't have somebody behind him.
So if Wilder signs to Eddie,
he doesn't even talk.
So if Wilder signs to Eddie, who's the best mouthpiece, is he a star?
Right. No, but he's be better than he is now.
Listen, Rick, I got some more questions from the public. This is our most loyal listeners from our Patreon. We got Rue in the 504 who asks, is it really this hard to make the fights we want to see, or is it just smoke and mirrors from promoters?
It depends on the fight and the promoters, but any time that you have a situation where Al Heyman is involved with the fighter, like the Spence thing or the Mayweather thing, it's very difficult. The reason why he's putting Wilder out there is because Wilder said to Heyman and Shelley Finkel, I am fighting Fury before and the rematch. So I do give Wilder a lot of credit for the gumption and the fortitude to want to fight Fury, who he feels is the best in the division besides himself. So that to answer that question, it depends on who the players are involved.
I want to get back to.
Mike, let me finish. There's only like 4 more or 5 more patrons. We got Tracy who says, "Why is there so many false reports with your name on it?"
Well, I would think that that's because of the fact that I'm probably one of the more well-known people that are in the business that are on social media and because my numbers are taken as real in the business, so people want to use my numbers to facilitate their phoniness. I would think. I don't know. I can't really answer that. You're asking me about a negative, like to prove a negative. I don't know what that reason is.
No.
But no, it had nothing
Listen,
to do with 2,500 homes.
we love that you at least are entertaining these questions. We have another one from Omega who says, what is the most important aspect you look for in fighters when matchmaking them? Record, length of career, opposition, faced, etc.
Fortitude, inner fortitude, guys that come to win on a nightly basis or are just going to be there to pick up a paycheck. Many fighters will mail it in as soon as they hear the guy's 18-0 with 18 knockouts, and they say, "Oh, I can't win. I'm not going to win." Blah blah blah, and then they don't. They go through the motions. I look for a guy that gives 1,000% of himself every time he fights. That's the most important thing to me.
Lamont wants to know why does your name usually pop up when something disrespectful about PBC comes out?
Well, because I've been very vocal about what it was wrong when the business model was first announced, right up until, you asked me today, I'll tell you. Okay, I knew that business model that they did would fail, and it failed to the tune of $550 million. And it just, the only thing that BBC did was they ran through the money faster than I thought. I thought it would be, it would take them approximately 55 months to run through that kind of money, $10 million a month. They ran through it almost $20 million a month in 30 months. They ran through it like $18.5 million a month. So they actually was faster than I thought. The device of their previous mode of operandi. The mode of operandi.
Hold on, Mike. We got two more, Mike.
Changed how they do business.
Two more, Mike. Mike on a hot seat, though. He can't wait to get you, Glaser. We got Brandon in Cincinnati says, who are you?
Who am I? I think you explained that in the beginning of the
Tell him press
show.
rewind. Tell him press rewind, Rick. It's on demand.
Okay, international agent.
No.
International agent, broker.
No, Rick, don't worry about it. I said don't worry about it. I said tell them to press rewind. You answered that. That was one of my first questions because I wanted my listeners to know from the beginning who was on the show.
Press rewind.
All right, we got the last one coming from CYP in LA.
Press rewind.
We have the last one coming from CYP in LA that says, do you think credibility should matter? If yes, then there is a reason why Jay Glaser is the only Glaser we know. I don't even know Jay Glaser. I only watch boxing, though.
Jay Glaser is a football guy. I don't know. He spells his name with a Z. I spell it with an S. I don't, I can't answer that question. That's like a question that, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Why he's even saying that, but whatever.
Back to my co-host.
So yeah, I have credibility with all I know is I have credibility with the Bob Arams and the Don Kings of the world and people like that, and Frank Warren in England and all these people all over the world. So I guess I have a lot of credibility. Thank you. Continue.
I want to get back to the PBC point. Now, when you say PBC failed, now, I've been very critical of PBC in the past about promotion and things like that, but I don't think they failed. And the reason that I say that is don't get another deal if your product is not good and your fighters and your merchandise. The product wasn't that bad. But let me explain what really happened. Though, okay? Let me finish my point real quick. The talent that is the fighters, they speak of Al Heyman in such a way that it seems like they're praising him, and they all seem to be set up financially for right now and in the future. So what I'm saying is, how can you say that the business model has failed when the fighters and the actual business has got renewed to other networks?
Okay, Google Whiteout Reed, Overland, Kansas, and give them a call and ask them how they feel about Al Heyman today, where he ran through their $550 million. They're trying to sell PBC right now, and they can't find a buyer for it, for the amount of money that they need to recoup some of their losses. They lost $550 million. It was a failure. Now, how did they end up with the Fox deal? I can answer that question very well. They ended up with the Fox deal because Al Heyman had no competition, and he knew it. Because all of Aram's content has to be on ESPN platforms or ABC and Disney platforms, which is all owned by Disney. All of Eddie Hearn's stuff in the United States, in North America, I should say, in North America, has to be on Dazn. So the two biggest guys with equal drawing power of fighters, and just as good of fighters, and the volume of fighters, they were all tied up in exclusive deals. So Fox wanted to go. Heyman didn't have any competition in getting the Fox deal because everybody else was tied up with their own deals. And Oscar De La Hoya is not big enough. He's got, besides Canelo, he's got maybe like 8 other fighters that are fair. 3 or 4 other real good ones, Manguita, Ryan Garcia. But remember, though, when the Fox deal came about, Ryan Garcia was just nothing at the time. But in the meantime, he had the fighters, and he was the only out for them to get involved in big-time boxing on a regular basis. They had no competition. Arum couldn't do that deal. The reason why right now...
But then that sounds like he cornered the market. That seems like he capitalized. How could you call failure... He capitalized on an opportunity, and you're calling it failure.
He got more money. You don't get more money if you're doing bad.
Right. No. I happen to agree with that. But he had no competition because if that would have been 2 years earlier before DAZN and ESPN came in, then there would have been a lot of competition for that. But
you're also forgetting that the PBC Fox Showtime deal was announced before the DAZN August 2018 deal. Like, that's just in its infancy.
The DAZN deal had been signed for like 6 months before it was announced by DAZN. Eddie Hearn was the guy 6 months before. I had known about it from one of my guys in England. It was a done deal. They didn't announce it for like 6 months until they got all the kinks out of there and all the bugs out of the app and stuff. So that when they went to announce it, they had shows to announce and they had everything to announce. So it was like a 6 month delay there, guys.
So why does the fighters not jump ship? Because Bob Arum has made numerous offers at PBC fighters, and DAZN and Eddie Hearn have tried to poach PBC fighters, and they haven't been able to.
Well, it goes like this. There is some loyalty to some people, just like Crawford's contract was up with ESPN, with the Top Rank in ESPN, and he could have jumped ship, and he stayed. Certain fighters.
Wait a minute. Let's backtrack. Isn't Crawford's contract up in 2020, sometime before the first quarter?
Third quarter. It's at the third quarter. At the end.
Completely false. No. They just renewed last November. He's got multiple years. He's got 2 fights minimum per year. He can fight as many times as he wants. No, it's completely false.
Take it away. Take it away, Mike, because we just had Bomac on the show. So I don't know. Mike is a Crawford fan, so.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we had Brian McIntyre on earlier, and he said that at the end of 2020, that their contract will be up with ESPN.
Oh, end of 2020. You said the first quarter.
No, that wasn't necessary. I'm talking about what Bomac told us live on air.
Oh, okay. Well, if it was signed, if it was a 3-year deal, that's a possibility. Yeah, last year, this year, and next year. Yeah, it's a possibility. Sure. Okay. And the 2020, yeah, that's a definite possibility. Absolutely. So that's 3 years.
Do you see him? Do you see him resigning?
Absolutely. Not even no doubt in my mind. I think Bomac they've treated Bomac really well. They've treated Crawford very well. He gets a lot of money per fight, and he'll continue to get a lot of money per fight. He'll even get more probably.
But they both sound frustrated. They both sound frustrated in the opponent department. Like Bomac was on this show saying, we ain't re-signing unless they give us the fight. We're gonna entertain offers from PBC and Dazn. Like this was just this week.
Yeah, it was like Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, well, listen, if that's what Bomac is saying, I know he's calling the shots, then that's how they feel. But for now, he's got another year to go in the contract. A lot of things can happen between the cup and the lip, as they say. So we'll see what happens in the next year. Do I think he's going to resign? I think he'll resign.
I mean, if I'm Crawford and I'm looking at how they're treating Fury, first off, the rumor is Fury got like 120 plus million, and he's fighting,
Okay, hold it. Again, one's worldwide. One has got a huge fan base in Europe and all over the world. Crawford doesn't command that kind of fan base. He's definitely not. He doesn't have the personality Fury does. Fury brings a whole country with him. The UK. You're comparing apples and oranges here.
But you could put 10 UKs in Texas, man.
No, you can't put 10 of them in Texas. It's like as big as Texas, though.
Okay, well, there you go. It's not that big a difference when you compare it to America.
The UK is a huge country in TV rights. They're very ethnically backed. They ethnically charged by their own fighters, and he does serious money over there in TV, and that's just the way it is. That's just. Okay. I mean, Crawford can't help that he's from Omaha. Okay, if he was from the UK and he was fighting over here, he would command those kind of dollars. Just like what's his name commanded big dollars, Cal Brook. Same thing. So you got to also when you hear how much a fighter gets paid, you have to go look at the revenues where that money comes from, and Fury is truly brings a whole different market and demographics to the table, which includes another country.
Yeah, but what gets reported,
it's apples and oranges
gets reported isn't even the truth. Like I was at the WBC convention this year in Mexico, Cancun, where representatives of the WBC are upset because the fighters don't want to pay 3%. They're reporting a certain purse to the commission, and the WBC representatives feel they're getting paid more. This is not me making it up. They're looking for a way to somehow correct that. They feel they're not getting their full sanctioning fee, So, I can't believe what's reported when no one believes it. Every reporter says,
well, first of all is there should be a cap on it. The cap should be $150,000 in fees per fight. That should be the cap. So no matter how much you make, you don't pay more than $150,000. Okay? Should be a cap. That's my opinion.
What does that mean?
Yeah, you lost me. What are we talking about?
Yeah, like a cap.
In other words, like let's just say a guy is a champion of the Let's say he's got 3 belts, 4 belts.
Oh, you mean the cap? Belts. Okay, a cap on a sanctioning fee. You mean a cap on a sanctioning fee?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Should be $150,000 total, no matter how much no matter how much the fighter's getting. So if you were a champion of 2 organizations, you'd only pay $75,000 a piece to the organizations. If you were 3 champions, you pay $50,000 a piece. Should be a cap. Period. That's the problem here.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that the most recognized belt or the most sought after in the WBC, they are complaining that they're not getting their fair share. So if they feel that the fighters are not being honest with their purse, I'm going to believe them because they have an invested interest. They're trying to get paid. So that being said, what gets reported in the commissions doesn't mean... Go ahead.
You're right, doesn't mean shit. You're correct. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I agree that there's a problem. There definitely is a problem, number one. But there should be a cap that they shouldn't have to pay more than $150,000 in fees. Okay, and they're paying more than that now in fees. Especially if they're champion of two organizations or three, they're paying 3% to each organization. That means if the guy's getting, let's just give you an example, the guy's getting $10 million for a fight, and he's paying $300,000, and he's paying $900,000 in sanctioning fees if he's champ for a winning class. It's too much money. You shouldn't have to pay more than $150,000 for any fight. That's what I think. Continue.
All right, so we got the last question coming. Oh, actually, no, two more came in on the Patreon. We got John in Texas says, "Top of the morning to you, Rick. Can we get a solid matchup for for our guy Nestor Gibbs on Border Wars February 29th? Happy late Thanksgiving." So the next one is Rod in A70. He says, Wilder Ortiz was tweeted 255,000 less than an hour after the fight. It was searched 1 million plus before and after the fight, more than college football. The fight was trending at number 1 5 hours after the fight. How do we explain this?
I have no idea where those numbers came from. You're asking me something I can't answer. I don't know where those numbers came from.
Quick Google
No
searches.
idea. Zero.
Got it. All right. Well, Rick, man, thank you once again for your time. It's been great. If you have any social media you want to give out for anybody listening that can follow you, we will. You can do so at this time. And once again, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Gentlemen, anytime. Okay, anytime. Just to let you know, it's 6:30 in the morning and the started for Vegas, and I'm onward to my day now. You guys have a wonderful day yourself and enjoy your Black Friday.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Early Bird gets the worm, and showing there that he is a true boxing fan. Coming on at 6 in the morning, man. I appreciate the wake up so early, being on the West. Thank you once again, Rick Glaser, legendary
matchmaker, promoter. We got a couple of super chats real quick. Where did you stop off? Did you stop off on Andre Diacono?
Which one is it? Because I don't know.
Next one. I heard you say that one. So Renzel Jetson says, "Proud to say I purchased the Wilder pay-per-view. #Bomb Squad."
Yeah, I bought it too.
Jacob Hubbard said, "Ask him how old Ortiz is." Damn. We got one from Demetrius Ramos. He says, "Thank you, Ness and Mike, Mike the boss. We all appreciate your hard work and the boys' brother."
One moment.
Okay, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Thank you for always being entertaining. Oh yeah, man, no problem, man. This is very, very outlandish. Igloo 2 says, Wallin was a terrible opponent. Just because the fight was decent doesn't change how terrible Wallin was. Maypac is number 1. Maypac is number 2. Maymac is number 2. May Canelo is number 3 ever. So yeah, man, it's all common denominators. Mayweather. Demetrius Brumo says, "I called it. Wilder is awful on the mic. He needs help on how to keep his mouth shut, or keep his mouth shut." Look, man, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm horrible on the mic, but you think I give a fuck about what you think, or you think Wilder give a fuck about what you think, man? Please. Sometimes people like authentic, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people don't like the motherfucking traditional shit. That's why we got a president in the White House right now that says whatever the fuck he wants to say because he's not traditional, and he relates more to the rural people in America, and that's what Wilder does. He relates to people. Everybody's not going to be great at doing everything, but one thing people are great at is being themselves, and Wilder's great at that, and that attracts people in. So if you try to be something that other than you're not, then you're going to look like a fool doing it. Ryan A70 says, "Ness, update Patreon. I just sent that question." He did. He got it in. M. Reynolds says, "Would you say the Dazn is using the same model as PBC?" I don't know.
Don't know.
they ain't running no pay-per-view, so I wouldn't say
I mean,
that.
but once again, if you want to ask questions to the guests, the only way you get that in is on Patreon. It's just no other way because we're interviewing. We can't, be. It's just hard to pay attention to the live chat. But let's go out.
Last one. Renzel Jetson says, regardless of what this man is saying about PBC, still has the best roster of any fighters in boxing. So there is no competition.
And everyone's trying to poach PBC. None of the fighters are leaving. Listen, and again, Jesus, what is it with the attention span or the like, bro? The show is to debunk the rumor. That was done. Somehow, we should have never had this guy on. We should never be reporting this rumor. I mean, wow. People sure are judgy. But any closing thoughts before we open up these phone lines?
No, man, go ahead.
All right, let's do it.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Hell yeah, man, I got a closing point. Smash that goddamn thumbs up button, man. We got almost 800 people watching, so I need 800 thumbs up. And all you people watching, I know y'all about to do some Black Friday shopping today. I know y'all might get on Amazon today. So do me a personal motherfucking favor. Get on our theboxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors and click on our Amazon link. Bookmark that link right now and do all your Amazon shopping through that link. It costs you nothing extra on Amazon, but we do get a little kickback every time you use that link. So
and it is Black Friday.
It is Black Friday, so go now and bookmark it and use our hyperlink.
And they sell everything on Amazon. Everything. Like everything. Huh? Is that what, man?
You can buy a boat on that bitch if you want a boat.
Yep. And they ain't going to charge you more for the boat. But
get your anchor too.
But they still going to hook up TBV, and that's going to keep us around doing what we do. So, once again, the title is Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz 2. Pay-per-view record low. Tracking at 2,500 buys or hate is real. Mike, how do you interpret that title?
I interpret it like shit. We trying to get on this motherfucker and find out what's going on and see if Rick Glaser really somebody that put out that shit, because that's the source that it's all coming from. Okay. We're getting on here and we're trying to prove a point. And the point is that number is false and it's incorrect. And that is the main point.
And the person who these other people are using as their source has now said he never said that at all.
When you type it on Google, that YouTube videos pop up on this topic.
Yes.
And everybody is citing Rick Glaser.
So we are debunking that.
Yes, we are.
Okay, guys? Wilder fans? What did Wilder say we calling them? The Bomb Squad Army?
No.
Because the other day they attacked us the other day. They attacked us.
They're coming today again. Watch. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some people calling in. You guys are fucking horrible for that title. Look here, bro. Feel how you want to feel. If you listen to the whole content, then you see what it was about, and you see what we were trying to do. And you heard my opening statement. I ain't gonna say no more.
No more. All right, we're going out to these calls. Did we hit the sponsors yet? I don't even know.
Yeah, but play that, rate us 5 stars. Goddamn it.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
All right. Let's go out to Baltimore. Troy.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
What's going on, Troy?
Okay, good. Hey, bless up. You know what? I've never been a numbers dude. I'll just go on the facts on how you on the things that I know, right? I've always said that Deontay was never built to be on pay-per-view, and I'm gonna tell you why. Oh, by the way, I'm using my boomerang. And Anthony Joshua, when you saw him coming up, every fight there was a step up. Like, say, there was White, then there was Martin, then there was Klitschko, and it was a constant step up, right? With Wilder, he wasn't groomed to do that. They just put him in there. He fought, but you never saw any progression. That's why, and when he was 33-0, and he had a chance to step up to fight Klitschko, Finkel was like, well, he's not ready, and we're not rushing, because they never built him like that. It's best for him, in my opinion, to stay on Fox TV, because he does have that thing about him where people will gravitate to him if they just let him be himself. So if you put a heavyweight of championship fight on free TV, people will watch it, and then you can start building from there. But in order for them to shell money out, they actually have to know who you are, and you actually have to have that foundation built already. He does not have that foundation. All right, you can say I'm hating or whatever the case may be, but the facts are the facts. He was never built to be a superstar, and that's, again, I'm going to repeat myself, that's the people he was with, and that's him. He didn't speak up early enough to say, I don't like what's going on. Joshua, on the other hand, they took chances early, very early. And now he's where he is. He lost a fight, and now he's making $85 million. This brother here, great guy, actually.
Send me a link to that, please. Send me a link to that $85 million, please.
I can only send you videos of shit that's out there, and you already know that, so please.
No, I have no credible source telling me that he's making $85 million. I have none, zero.
Okay, but he's making a whole lot more than the man who beat him. Right?
I'm gonna assume yes. I'm gonna assume yes. He's making more than Andy Ruiz Jr. Absolutely.
And why is that when he lost the fight?
Well, because the same reason Dillian White and Deontay Wilder didn't take the contract, because AJ makes sure to put that you don't make more than him in the rematch. Remember?
Nestor, I understand what you're saying, but how is he able to do those?
Sorry. 3 minutes and I still got that dummy. Bang, 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 bang. Whoop that ass.
We got a super chat coming from the real McCoy. Appreciate TBV killing them softly. Cook these clowns straight up. And we got one coming from the one to give it to you. Great work, y'all body dude. Hashtag stay hate. And we got one coming from Noya Danky. Why use that headline? Shake my head. Why use the headline? Because it got
read it
you
in its entirety, though.
It got you listening.
No, but not even read it.
No. It got you to spend a goddamn super chat asking why to use the headline. That's why we use the motherfucking headline.
But read it in its entirety. Like,
if they can't read that, if they want to read the first two words, let them read it. You got time to keep on explaining this shit to them?
Lame-o. Popping all this champagne, popping all this rose, getting money like Jose, chain code, Norway. Shorty want that foreplay, I'm like, no way. Gotta rock it like Coldplay, killing it.
OJ.
Getting cheese like Green Bay, call me Aaron Rodgers. Hopped out that Dodger, dodging them coppers. My boy got them choppers. Yo,
Jose, what up, baby?
Yo.
That shit got me
Good
pumped.
morning,
Danny
boys.
Garcia in the morning got me going.
There's never been a lame-o. Hell no.
What up, Jose? Good morning.
Yeah, baby. That's how it is, man.
Damn, it's 8:48 in Calgary. 8:48 in Calgary, so you're up early.
Always, man. Always, Gotta listen to you boys. It's shows like this that I like because they're actually giving us information that we need to know. The truth is this. I think a lot of people are just on a side of the argument to either protect or debunk. And the truth is, pay-per-view is dying. That's what this gentleman said, It's dying. Very few people. I actually agree with one of his statements. I know Mike had contradicted him, and Mike's mom had asked about who is this guy, and he looks tough. But the truth is that if like the general woman doesn't know who the hell the boxer is, then the guy's not going to be mainstream. That's just the absolute truth, right? Like UFC has that crossover factor, right? They have like the Diaz brothers, the McGregors. We only really have Floyd and Canelo. You know, there's nobody else right now in the market, man. And Pacquiao, but Pacquiao needs the right dance partner, right? So pay-per-views will still make some money, but they're never going to be what they used to be. You know, until we build a star, and you know, it's tough, man. We need guys with Adrian Broner's personality, but with like Floyd's ability, right? So I just don't know what we're going to do. It's a shame because I think Deontay has it. But I have to agree with this guy, man. He lacks a certain promoter to get him out there. Like, Deontay has got every angle you could think of to make him a superstar, except he doesn't have a bloody promoter to help him grow. That's the truth, man. You know, this guy should be on Good Morning America. He should be on every single show possible, you think. And not the shows that he can have access to, like the Breakfast Clubs and all that stuff. But he has to be on mainstream, and you guys have to understand that, too. I know there's arguments to say.
Traditional mainstream is like a thing of the past, man. Like, people go to platforms they want to go to now, and everybody uploads their content on YouTube now. So it's like, I agree to a certain extent, but again, I don't agree. Like, things are becoming less and less popular. I don't know many people who just sit around and watch late night TV like they used to. They watch the clips on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can put out content on YouTube just by searching somebody's name. So I just think the platforms don't really dictate as much as they used to. And when you look at a guy like Joe Rogan, like, you tell me something, a talk show on TV that's got the same pool of a Joe Rogan right now. Maybe Ellen, you know what I'm saying? Ellen might have. Is Ellen still on?
Oprah
not on no more, is she? She got her own.
Yeah, she got her own network. I'm sure she gotta have social media, man. Come on.
Now what I'm saying, like, I know she got a Super Soul podcast, but is she doing like a talk show on? I don't watch her own, bro. I don't know.
I don't know either, man. Okay. I don't know either, but we got CYP. Talk to me.
Oh, man. I bet y'all in the chat think I'm about to be mad or something. No. The only thing I'm actually mad about is with Ness, because he could have just talked to this dude before he even posted this show and heard dude say, I didn't say 2,500. And that could have been it. This show could have been about something totally different. It's easy to know it wasn't 2,500. And he said it 3 or 4 times that he didn't say it. But I looked in the chat and y'all kept repeating it over and over again. That's the reason why I'm mad at the show. Because some haters lie. And all you got to do is lie. A lie is so much better than the truth. So that 2,500 was going rampant for a fucking hour just now when dude in the beginning said he didn't say it. And it still went. The $85 million, not real. Still going rampant. That's all you have to do nowadays is lie. Put down PBC, lie on the black organization, lie on Wilder, boost up Eddie Hearn, and people will roll with it, even though they know you're being dishonest. This man exposed his bias. I really fucking hated how he dismissed Mike's black mom for his white mom. A mom is a mom, motherfucker. So if his mom knows and your mom knows, your point is debunked. Don't try to flip it after that. Fury is not a fucking star, but his view, he did 1 million views. Where? He stuttered so much when it came to asking him about his side of the street, but had all these facts about the other side of the street. This is what happens when an old white man, I'm going to keep it 100, when an old white man is upset and mad about the success of an old black dude. Y'all know that shit for a fact. This man is a goddamn racist. Let's keep it 100. This shit was ridiculous. That was just my rant for that. I got 2 more coming up.
Cut it.
Who we got up next, man?
Brandon, Cincinnati.
What up, B? Talk to me.
I'm going to be bossing, man.
Audio a little fucked up, get some gas, but yeah, that dude sound like more of a fan than a fucking like objective boxing reporter. So I take his word with a grain of salt, just like I take any other fans with a grain of salt. There's gonna be some biasness, but I like to think of myself as a pretty objective guy. And do I think the pay-per-view flopped? Yeah, I do think it flopped. I said it before the shit was gonna happen, that the fight should have been on free TV. It wasn't a fight that we needed to see because Wilder left him face down, ass up the first time, had a definitive ending, and it was kind of a pointless fight. So I said before the show that I thought about 250K pay-per-view buys was going to be the number, and I'm sticking to that. Do I think it did 2,500? Fuck no. But do I think it did around 200 to 250K? Yeah, and is that a flop? In my opinion, it is for somebody who we call in the face of boxing. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like I said, I knew it wasn't going to do that well because, like I said, it was a fight that we weren't clamoring for as fans, and we ain't going to pay $80+ for a fight we not asking to see. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, yeah, probably did shit numbers, but let's move on. We got Fury and Wilder too, which should do, relatively a lot more than this one. I'm predicting closer to 1 million buys. And let's just call it a day, man. So that's my call. The shit probably do shit numbers, yeah, but who cares? He got the win, and we moving on.
Cut it.
All right, Cincinnati, thanks for calling in. Brandon rocks out with us every morning, going out to another regular in Texas. Good morning.
Boxingvoice.com.
You invited him to the ring? Why?
Yo lo invité a que subiera. Como decimos en México, hay que dejarnos de mamadas. ¡Viva México!
And like we say in Mexico, we don't fuck around. Boxingvoice.com.
Good morning, good morning.
What up, Matt?
Yo, good interview. Although he did seem like he was more pro ESPN than any other thing. Like, he looked like he was trying not to be biased, but he did have all the facts for one side, but not all the facts for the other side. But on my thing, I think this Wilder pay-per-view probably didn't do that well on bias for like a couple reasons, like that Tyson effect that everybody's talking about, Everybody probably saw the Brazil fight and probably saw the last fight. Yo, you hear me?
My bad. My headphones disconnected.
Oh no, you good. Well, everybody probably seen it and then thought, why I'm gonna pay $80 and this man might knock this man out in like a minute and 30, under the first round. They might see that as a waste. And then it's just, they come to it, you think Ortiz probably shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. That's probably one of those things they could have had on Fox. They could have had it on Showtime again. And another thing, this is like the fourth pay-per-view this year for PBC, ain't it? Two Earls, one Manny, and then the Wilder. That might play into man, am I really going to pay $80 for the fourth time this year? That might be some people's thing, but I really think it's that Tyson effect. Some people probably wouldn't pay because they think, this man's going to get him out of here quick, fast, and in a hurry. But, good interview, good show, man. That's my call.
Matt, thanks for calling in. Gabe, Salt Lake City, right?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yo, I got a couple questions for you guys, so don't let me remind me at the end to ask you guys. So I thought it was a typo at first when I read the headline, but I did read the whole headline, so I hopped on. So I don't think Deontay Wilder is the face of boxing, not even in America. I think you might have to put Earl Spence up there over him, probably Crawford as well. But my questions for you guys is, do you think it hits over 149,000? And I'm asking that specific number to compare it to Crawford Khan. And then the other question is, who do you think is the new face of boxing? Like, who's going to be selling the pay-per-views for, let's say, the African-American or the black fighter in America? And that's my call.
Yes, I think it does better than Crawford and Khan, and I think the answer to that question is Deontay Wilder right now.
Yeah, and Earl too, though.
Yeah,
that's why I brought up the fact that Earl did very close to what Floyd did in his first pay-per-view. I don't know, man. I don't think that it's dead. I think that it's a difficult battle, though, because you do have these streaming services, doing what they're doing. So, yeah, I don't know. We're going to keep this moving. We have... All right.
We go.
So we got this is Rod and 870, I believe.
What up, Rod? Dallas Cowboys, right?
Hey, yes, sir. But bad day yesterday.
No, sir.
But I think that guy was full of shit, man. And that's just me being honest. I don't care what he said about Wilder, but it's the fact that you say on one hand that PVC pay-per-view model is bad, then you say on the other hand when Ness asked them, hey, what about Fox? What about ESPN? They're charging you for ESPN Plus, then giving you pay-per-views. He always had an excuse, so that right there kind of alerted me. And with the numbers that I posted, Mike, I just sent you an inbox of a screenshot of those numbers that I sent to the guys so you can know that they're real. Wilder was tweeted about 250,000 times immediately after the fight, which shows that people was watching. But at the same time, to compare it, Errol Spence and Sean Porter was tweeted about 110,000 times. The Google trend for Wilder was over 1 million over every college football game that day, pre and post the fight. To give you a benchmark, Errol Spence and Porter was tweeted about 500,000 times, and it came in third on Google Trends. So I want to know what Wilder converted to. Maybe Wilder didn't convert to the 350 to 400,000 that Errol Spence and Sean Porter did, but those numbers are trending good. So I wouldn't say it's going to do 150. I would say probably at least 300 to 350 maybe if those numbers convert. But it's funny.
Cut it. Yeah.
Davidian. My bad, Mike. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Rod said pretty much what I wanted to say.
Hey, what's going on, Ness? What's going on, Mike?
What up? Good morning.
Good morning. Great interview, as always, but I don't know. I don't really care what he said, to be honest. I don't know until we see like the full numbers. I mean, who's to say? It probably did okay. Until I see otherwise, I'm not really. I don't know. I'm just not worried about what he was saying, because he just seemed like he was on one side, and he was a good interview though. I respect him, but I don't really care what he was talking about because I never heard of him. But you know, he's somebody. You know, everybody's somebody. So I'm not trying to be, mean or anything. But I guess you just got to see. I can't, what the actual numbers are. All I know is I had to get it because I want to see. I want to support no illegal streaming because thou shalt not steal. So I'm not stealing anything. So I just want to see the. My boy Wilder or Errol Spence. I bought all the Errol Spence fights. So, yeah, that's my call. And, y'all have a blessed one.
You too, man. You too.
I went to the Errol Spence shit, man. That's the biggest arena and the most spacious and luxurious arena probably I ever been to, bro. The Jerry Jones, I thought was cracking in there.
Yes.
What? That shit.
It was good. And, that was important to them because that is awareness, free awareness. You give people social media and they are posting nonstop, hashtagging, this is where I'm at. And, it felt like a gigantic event. I was lucky to be there with you and with Stainless and with so many others, and it just felt amazing. I mean, Joseph, we got to meet them. It was great. It was a really good time, man. Hopefully we can do it again for this Wilder one, man. I want to really do it. Could have did it for this one, man. We bull crapping with this one.
Yeah, man, it's Christmas time, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you just late notice and shit, but that Wilder shit, man, definitely should be a possibility. I think that Wilder Fury, hopefully they have it at probably T-Mobile, right?
I'm thinking T-Mobile. And even Wilder said in the interview, like, listen, it's probably gonna be there. I'm sure he's hoping for maybe some other offers, but he still ended like it's probably gonna be there. When I was like, yo, we need to book, cause I'm trying to book, man. I'm trying to book. If we gonna go, let's go. I don't want to waste no time. The longer you wait, the longer it's gonna be.
Absolutely.
The worse it's gonna be. Excuse me. So who do we have up? We're going to Clark. Talk to me.
What up, Clark?
I'm calling from Amsterdam.
What
up? I listened to the interview. To be honest, when I read the headline about the 2.5K, I was devastated because I fuck with Wilder big time. All my niggas fuck with Wilder, and he's just a worldwide star. All my niggas in Amsterdam We know about Wilder. They are casual fans, but they know about Wilder. They fuck with Wilder. So he's a star, to be honest. And yeah, I can't believe those numbers, to be honest. I think at least 80K, if so, but 2.5K is not realistic to me. So let's
No,
hope.
we had the source who alleged said this, and he said that he did not say this, and he's saying
Yeah, true. I heard it.
he's saying that it thinks that it at least does 200. It's his guess.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, to be honest, I listened to the interview, and all my niggas know Wilder. They don't even follow boxing like that, so it's not true. He's a star in Amsterdam and Holland. We fuck with him. He's amazing. So I hope he does well. And he fucks Fury up. And road to undisputed. And yeah, this is my call, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Clark, for calling in. We're going to Josh in the New Orleans. Talk to us.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can you come back to me on the next call?
All right.
Josh?
Lil Feezy.
What up, Feezy?
Yo, 2,500 or 250,000. I don't give a fuck. I'm riding with my nigga, man. Fuck the haters. Bomb squad. That's my call, and I'm out.
Bomb Squad! Loyalty, talk to me.
Yes, boys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Well, as we say in England, opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one. And I mean, I don't know how far to read into that. It's 250. It seems impossible, don't it? I mean, it made a good point about the sanctioning fees, though. But Wilder was talking about the sanctioning fees the other day, weren't he? And about if there was a PBC belt, there wouldn't be any sanctioning fees. So if PBC aren't recognising the WBO and is it IBF?
Yeah. Yes.
If they're not recognising them, why doesn't Ruiz vacate them so he doesn't have to pay the sanctioning fees?
Well, his father told us is because he's recognizing. We had the father on the show. They recognize him. They're not vacating him. They're complying.
So there's a bit of division then, basically. I mean, this is all what Wilder's saying, isn't it? Like, sometimes you don't know what to believe. Sometimes you don't know what to believe. You know, the UK had 450,000 buys, Billy Joe Saunders, Haney, KSI, Logan Paul at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, I don't think it's hate, I think it's disinterest. To be honest, you're not just going to get people saying I'm not buying that because I hate it. Like,
I got a super chat coming from Andre Diakonu. He says, Glaser undertone from that interview, if you can't get upper class white America dollars, you're not a star. Okay. The one gonna give it to you says, y'all don't see how the title pick up the haters just to throw them off the fucking mountain? Ha ha. Hashtag y'all tight.
Thank you. See, you love when you got an intelligent boxing fan there.
And drop the motherfucker off the moon, motherfucker.
All right, let's see. Phone line's lit up. They say my boy ain't a star though. He ain't a star though. He ain't a star.
To this day.
I promise you, we won't leave till 12.
To this day. And like Eddie said, this is just a little podcast channel.
It's too many callers. We're not leaving till 12. Boomerangs are gonna be in a very good day today.
Don't we got something at 12, right?
What we got at 12?
I made an event. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know if it's still on, but you know what I'm saying? Performance.
It was for today?
I made an event, my nigga. Yeah, it's 12. I mean,
dang.
It's at 1. I believe it's supposed to be at 1.
Dang.
Just text and find
Nah,
out. Let
it's
me
all
know.
good. It's all good. We could do that. We could do that. We could do that.
All right.
All right. That's crazy. See, that's why we need an intern. We got King in New Jersey. Talk to us.
What up, Amin?
Actually, I'm going to come right back to you. No disrespect. Let me just mix in CYP. He got 3, so you always got to mix them in the middle somewhere.
You got to sprinkle them in a little bit.
You got to sprinkle them in.
Too much CYP at one time is not too good. But if you sprinkle them in a little bit, then we got them.
All right, Mike. You better watch your mouth. All right, no, listen though, man. You know what's funny? It's almost impossible for a pay-per-view fight that you have to buy to trend on Twitter immediately after the fight in numbers of 250,000 tweets. 250,000 people talking about this fight that you couldn't even see unless you paid for it or illegally downloaded it. Damn. It's impossible. Remember, you have to pay for this. They own the rights. So you saw 250,000 people 100% saw this fight. That's a guaranteed number. Guaranteed that we're talking about it immediately after. See, y'all don't want to talk reality. Second reality is Dazn is on pace to lose $1 billion. That's fact. Dazn has lost more money per month than PBC has ever lost. That's fact. But we ain't gonna talk about facts. You know y'all hate me when I bring up facts. Y'all hate that shit. Y'all want to call me bitches and hoes and all other kind of shit. You're gonna cry in the car. And I'm gonna tell y'all once again, I'm from LA. Grew up on the street where Friday was made. You can't use he gonna cry on the car from a nigga who's actually from there. That's our language, you fucking idiots. God damn it. I'm not gonna call y'all wankers or dossers because it's not gonna affect y'all, because that's not my style. But I'm gonna let all the rest of y'all cook, and I got somebody I want to welcome back to the show on my third call. I'm welcoming you back, so be ready.
Cut it.
CYP. Going back to in New Jersey. Talk to me. Uh-oh. Found out.
Yo.
Oh, it is him? Yo. Hello?
Yo.
Who's this? Hello? Champ. Going once?
Wait.
Yo, we out, man. We going to Brandon in North Carolina. Talk to us.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, man, I enjoy following you. I love you. I love Mike. I even love Wilder. I'm an AJ fan. But at some point, we got to face reality. I mean, when are we going to start questioning his management team, the promoters, things like that? Wilder is a star. But that's possible these numbers were low, man. The fight I was able to share. I bought the fight, but I was able to share it with a friend that didn't see the fight on YouTube 5 minutes after the fight. The full fight was on YouTube 5 minutes after the fight finished. So, the Twitter numbers and all that sounds good, but people still was able to see it without buying it. But I just wonder when we're going to be able to question his promotion team. He's got too many hands in the pot, and I I love Wilder.
Explain that.
What do you mean? Too many hands in the pot?
Yeah.
He's got Al Heyman, Shelly Finkel, and Ness. Come on, man. He was on your show about to go to Dazn. He even said it before Shelly Finkel and him. He said, hey, it's not leaving. I'm not going to leave. It's just, bye for now, and I'll be back. He said that. And he's saying right. And Shelly Finkel saying,
Brandon, he absolutely said that. And like we talked about this morning, the deal wasn't right. If you can't find out how much the overall pot is on 2 of the fights in your contract, how is the deal right? Even a dude that is known for not liking Wilder said, yo, ethically it wasn't right. Like, you should know. Everybody knows. Like, what the hell is wrong with people?
You know what I want to ask Glaser too?
What is that?
Why would, if Wilder's not a so-called star, if he doesn't, producing that, why would 2 networks prepare to do battle to pick up that next fight with Fury. Showtime and Fox about to go at it for this right here.
Bro, I just
we had Wilder on yesterday, and we had Brian Custer on Monday that reassured that.
I just gave up on that interview because, like, I was gonna go down the line of how he made a bad decision when he just made $40 million for 2 fights, and based off his already answers, I knew he was gonna say, "Well, that's not right," because everything we said wasn't right. Everything we said wasn't right. Every number we had was wrong. So it's like.
And apparently, we didn't know that Amir Khan, being a big international star, brought in big dollars overseas.
I didn't even want to go down that route and say, so you're basically saying that they did it for money and not what's best interest for Crawford's career. Because obviously offering Danny that money would have brought in U.S. numbers.
A point I've been making from the fucking jump. But it is what it is.
We got Joshua in the New Orleans.
What up, Josh?
Yeah, what up? Good morning. I'm out here working on my route this morning. The caller, the guy Glaser, he said some stuff that I learned about the sport, but his overall bias was pretty evident in his answers, and it was kind of hard to follow him because I seen how his the way his
energy, right?
Yeah, his energy. I'm catching my breath. I'm working on his route right now. But his energy just was too overall biased. Like some of the questions I was agree with you. You could tell how the question was gonna go and how he was answering them. I did want to say I am a believer that pay-per-view is dying. So pretty soon we're gonna have to stop talking about pay-per-view numbers and just speak on what's relevant to the boxers. Fame or what's going to keep them on track, because with everything is competing with, it's going to be hard to get these pay-per-view numbers up, and it is dying. And I'm rolling with Wilder no matter what. He still is the face of boxing. That's my call.
All right, Josh, New Orleans, thank you for calling in. We got, and I don't have my fucking thing open for this. I'm going to have to, all right, we go into the UK.
Ain't it? Coyote?
Yes, sir.
To this day. To this day.
Sing along if you know the words. Come on.
What up, Coyote?
What's going on, people? What's going on?
Just chilling, man.
What up?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite informative, this guy you brought on. Obviously, a lot of Wilder fans were rattled. I was just laughing there, like, this guy is probably getting under the skin of loads of Wilder fans, because he's dropping some facts on you guys, and as much as you don't want to agree with it, I've said it to you before, that Wilder is good at promoting himself, but he doesn't actually have a proper promoter, and that's his problem. I mean, Fury is also a great character that knows how to talk. And he's got a promoter behind him. And let's be fair, he's doing better than Wilder in America. Whether you want to disagree with me or agree, that's up to you. But that's the reality. Like, this guy has not been properly promoted. That's why he's not a star. That's the truth. And as you guys feel,
how do you explain all the shoulder programming, or the numbers of this show, the numbers of their shoulder programming on YouTube, all the interest before and after the fight? How do you explain that?
The explanation to that is simple. You are talking about boxing fans. We are talking about people who are not boxing fans. You know, AJ, the reason why AJ is so big in the UK is not because of boxing fans, it's because of casuals, especially women. The women in the UK, they love AJ. It's ridiculous. You have to be big outside of.
Ricky Fresh.
Ricky Fresh.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
What up, UK?
I gotta listen, Mike, Ness. I give props to you lot. I give props. I've been listening to the show forever. I give props to you lot because this conversation, the LBDC would never bring this up. I agree with KOD. AJ is big because he's a big fan with the casual. Wilder is not. He's a big fan with you lot. That's it. He's not a big fan in the casual world. His promoter, Shelly, when you ask Shelly about the numbers of the pay-per-view, he brushed that off. Unless I'm disappointed with you because usually you add pressure. When you're talking shit about Eddie, you come with your heart. You say it with your chest. When you speak to Wilder, when you speak to Shelly, you get soft. You get soft. I don't understand. You're becoming like how Corgan speaks with Frank Warren. Soft. That's not you, my brother. Speak with your chest.
But what is it here, Ricky Fresh? But I give you the ability to ask Wilder what you want. Listen to CYP's question today towards Rick Glaser. I didn't change it. So don't worry about me getting soft. You stay hard. You see that Wilder is the only fighter, regardless of what you think about AJ, he's the only fighter that stays on the show to answer fan questions for 2 hours. So you can be one of those fans. If you think my question is soft, put your hard question in there and have him answer it. It's going to be directed right at Ricky Fresh. I'm going to read it and say, Ricky Fresh in the UK said, and you're going to be happy the next day or live while you're listening. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You do it. I give everybody the opportunity to do it. But that is your minute 30. We're going to go to
Jose on the boomerang.
Oh, he said bring him Becky back. Talk to me.
Yo, boys, man, it's just, you know what? It's just too much common sense when I hear some callers calling in and they're saying the way it should be, the lack of promotion. I think undoubtedly, man, that bum Luda Bella, that nerd Shelly Finkel, you know what? They don't care. They're making their bank, man. They don't have to make Deontay bigger because then they're going to spend more money trying to grow him, so their return isn't going to be as great. Whereas Wilder's will, man. There's no reason why Wilder wasn't on yesterday on Fox, on NFL Fox, man, like on Thanksgiving Day. Why isn't he aligned with the NFL, the NBA? He's a superstar, man. And his team doesn't give a shit because they're lazy and they're shit. You know, I don't want excuses. That's their job to grow this man's image, man. He's going out there and he's doing his job. He's knocking people out. He's murking all these fuckers. He's doing what he has to do. And his people aren't doing what they should be doing, man. Wilder's got he's got the power. He's got the story. He's got, like, everything, man. He's the American dream, from, like, delivering donuts and having a disabled daughter to being, like, the champion of the world. And no one's telling his story for him because they're lazy. And I'm going to do that next time.
Bro, you telling me they haven't said that story on Showtime and Fox? Come on, bro. They said that story.
Yeah, but it's not. He should be on the NFL. He should be at the NBA championships. He should be with all these guys because he's a monster, man. He should be. But they're not doing it because they're laziness. There's no other excuse. Stop preaching to the boxing fans. Go find the casual fans because they're going to help grow our sport bigger, man.
So putting the heavyweight champion of the world on Fox, all the shoulder programming on Fox, not only digital but Fox terrestrial, isn't building the heavyweight champion's brand. I really need to take more advice from you guys. I'm telling you. Ruin a 504. Talk to me.
I think just to try to stay on topic, I mean, the 2,500 buys, to me, that sounded a little crazy. And this guy was the alleged source, and he seems to deny that. But it definitely probably will end up being a flop. It's probably just because of the competition. And no one really wanted to see it. But it's just that so many people were triggered over just being a topic. It's crazy. These are the same guys that were coming at you guys for doing the Errol Spence topic about the picture, I guess, of his mugshot. I was like, just relax. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, Fury and Wilder will do great numbers. It's just that no one wanted to see him fight Luis Ortiz. That's all. And that's my call.
Stunner, New Jersey.
What up, Stunner?
Yo, what's up? What's up? All right. I ain't gonna say too much this call because my call today is gonna set up the call for when the numbers come out. Let me just go on record and saying that. Wait, Ness, what was the Fury Wilder pay-per-view numbers? Was it like 350?
I believe 325.
325, right? All right. All right, so let me be the first one on TBV. Remember, Stunner. Let me be the first one to go on record that I guarantee that Wilder versus Ortiz did over 325 buys and outdid Wilder versus Fury. Let me just be the first one to go on record and say that. I ain't gonna say too much, but when the numbers do come out and the numbers do prove that it outdid Wilder versus Fury, please let me cook. That's my call.
All right. Man, it would have been good to get your... You still got 30 seconds if you could tell me why you think it hasn't come out. It has been 6 days.
Why don't I think it came out?
20 seconds.
I think that Wilder, Fox, and his team are listening to this show right now, just laughing. That's why.
Right.
Stunner out.
Not a good answer, but okay, I get it. You keep us waiting for your next call, I guess. That one white boy in Texas, talk to us.
What's up, guys? I didn't get to catch much of the interview. I was saying bye to some family today that came over for Thanksgiving yesterday. I didn't get on yesterday, but happy late Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you had a great day with your family and friends. I caught some of the interview. I thought it was a good interview. I don't. That's pretty crazy to me that Wilder didn't. If he did those numbers as low, it shocks me. It really does. And I've been listening for probably the last 30 minutes, and yeah, I mean, maybe pay-per-view is dying out, man. I'm a Dazn fan, you know what I mean? I think Dazn is doing really good with their promoting and everything like that, and the way they market their fighters, and I think PBC does a good job at marketing their fighters and their backstories as well. But I was pretty shocked, man. I liked the fight. I thought the matchup was good. Somebody said that the rematch, they didn't really want to see it. He got knocked out, and yeah, he did, but I mean, it was a great matchup. He hurt Wilder. In my opinion, I thought the fight, I was all right with the rematch. But I'm kind of down about the numbers and everything like that. That's our American heavyweight. I still think Fury will beat him in the rematch. I really do. But I'm ready for that fight now, because that's the fight that I want to see February 22nd. But all right then, guys. I hope you have a great day. Smash the like button, subscribe, and go to Patreon. And for as little as $5, you can ask these people your questions. I think it's $3, right, Ness? I can't remember.
Definitely 5.
Okay, yeah, it's $5. For $5 a month, you can ask these dudes all the questions you want. It's just one question per guest, but you can ask that question just like he was telling you. So big up, guys. All right, then. I'm out.
Idris, UK, talk to me.
Hey, well, go on, Mr. Gibbs.
What up?
What you say, man? You gonna ring the bell on me already, fam? I'm a fucking alumni, man. What you talking about? Give me double the time, man. I haven't rang it up in so long, yeah, but I've never cancelled my Patreon. Tell them that. Listen, who's with you, Ness?
Mike,
wagwan.
Wagwan, brother, wagwan.
He's sleeping, man. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Wilder. Listen,
why
man,
they always think you sleep?
I don't know.
He's sleeping, man. What you lot saying, man? Wilder, man. There's no way he didn't do more numbers than the Fury fight, man. It's got nothing to do about which fight is better and things like that. I don't think people understand. It's got nothing to do with who's better and who's this and that. I mean, Fury's grown. They both made each other famous. Like, both of them. Like, I don't remember the last time two guys literally just boosted the other equally. Like, it's usually one or the other. You know what I mean? You agree with that?
Yeah, no.
How? Come on,
90 seconds.
Listen, everyone I know knows who Fury and Wilder is. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Fury was never as big as people feel like he was in the UK. He was never that superstar. He's that now. Like, these guys Wilder's fight was on the back of the newspapers. You know what I'm trying to say? They don't even put boxing. Like, they don't even put no tiny bit of boxing. The only time they put boxing on the newspaper in the UK is when AJ's fighting. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
60 seconds.
I think Fury profile is getting bigger, but I really don't think that he's the star that he is yet. You know what I'm saying? I think he's still doing some build. I think he's still got some ways to catch up with Wilder. Maybe over in the UK, he's definitely maybe they're about on the same level because the UK is such a boxing hotbed, but Fury probably has a little bit more stardom over in the UK. But Wilder is very, very popular in the UK. And the guy is going to meet the Pope. The Pope, like, motherfucker just don't meet the Pope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that. I heard superstars are just going over and meeting the Pope. Like, that's pretty cool. So, got to be big enough to start to reach the Pope.
10 seconds.
Bro, yesterday they tried to brush the whole Pope thing off. Like it was
I know,
nothing.
right? Like it wasn't a big deal. But hey,
it's like, oh, who cares about the Pope?
Nigga running the country. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, my man about to go to Italy, and it's who cares? All right. I'm just typing in this new number. We got a new caller here. I'm gonna go out to in the New Jersey. I thought it was I mean, but it's not. New Jersey, what's up? Who's this?
A day.
Turn your radio down a little bit. A day. What's going on?
A day. What up? Welcome back.
What's good? So, y'all really got a show about this, bro? You know this is nonsense. Come on, bro.
You gotta debunk it.
Yo,
you gotta debunk it, man. You got weirdos out here making videos saying it's true.
Listen, yo, they're crazy. I seen it. I went on YouTube. I seen mad videos already about Wilder. I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, because I went back on your interview with the guy, and he said he didn't say it. The dude said he didn't say it, so that means it's a fucking stupid shit somebody wrote. Fucking probably Dazn paid somebody or some ESPN paid somebody. Just make, come on. Fight fans is always, I don't care how bad a fight is, it's always going to do 50,000 minimum. I don't care if it's fucking Crawford versus Benavidez. It's going to do like minimum 50,000. Come on. I know fucking pubs and clubs that were showing in New Jersey that they will show fights. They were showing water fights. They showed it. I'm like, if you've been in New Jersey, you know what's it called? Lobby, fucking Barco. They showed the fight. They barely even show fight. They only show Spanish shit. I was like, what the fuck? This is some stupid shit. I ain't even gonna pay this no mind, bro. Stupid. The minimum is gonna do probably like 200,000 minimum.
Yo, you a champ, yo. You a day. So you be at lobby, huh? Watching the fights, huh?
Bro, I be at lobby every time. Yo, they don't show no other black fights like that. It's only be Spanish shit.
Yeah.
But they were showing Wilder fights. They show Wilder fights all the time. Like, that's how I know he's doing good, because you got a crowd and there'd be mad people in there trying to watch Wilder. I'm talking about real fans fucking with him. So, yo, this is nonsense. And you know, this UK people going wrong with that. This is what Eddie going to be talking all the time. Oh, Wilder is what? Man, go fuck yourself. They all fucking lying. Just to make this shit look bad. You know, Wilder ain't going to say shit. I don't care.
A day, man. Thanks for calling in. Looks like we got another new caller in possibly here. Let me see here. Georgia, maybe? 772. No, I'm wrong about the Georgia, right?
I have no idea. 772, but what up? We talking to you. 772.
Talking to you. What's your name, champ? Sir or ma'am? 772-713? Hello? Okay. Just listening. He dunked on us. All right.
Got a super chat coming from Rod in the 870. He says, holiday week and being counted off are why numbers delayed.
Oh, holiday weekend.
Being counted off. I don't know what does that mean?
Not only that though, like, I mean, you probably want to hold off because, you know, they sell the pay-per-view longer now than just that one day. So maybe they was trying to pick up any weekend buys with the holidays, you know, like yesterday with everybody home. I don't know. Was that?
Man, there ain't nobody buying the pay-per-view the week after, bro.
I mean, looks like we got.
Who we got? Smash that thumbs up button right now. And don't forget, man, it's Black Friday. I know you about to get on Amazon. So do me a favor. Go over to the boxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors and click on that Amazon link. Do all your Black Friday shopping through our link. It costs you nothing extra. But we get a little kickback every time you use that link. So
New
go
York
over there,
City.
man, shop. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. New York City, who's this? 917?
Yo.
Yo.
It's V.
V, what up? Man, why y'all be changing numbers so much, B?
I don't change my number. Y'all niggas just, I don't know. Y'all database always delete me for some reason.
What the hell? Talk to us.
But yo, fuck that. Let's get on to this Wilder shit, man. So I don't know, because I caught the show kind of late. Is that tracking at 2,500 buys? Is that actually like what they're saying?
Hell no, that shit was debunked. The alleged source of it said he never said it, and this is false news. But there's so many people running with the narrative. We had to have the guy on the show to tell us the truth.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, I know that wasn't. I expected it to be low, but I don't expect it to be that. I mean, that was just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had Audley Harrison fighting or some shit. But you know, I missed yesterday. I was watching it for the AJ shit because you know I'm a big AJ guy, and but I wanted to say something about that because I missed it. So, but I rewatched the fight like 3 more times with him and Ruiz, and I think everybody's kind of overreacting. He looked like he was in control those first 3 rounds. It looked like it was just going to be another, you know, whatever kind of fight. When he got hit on the side of the temple, it changed everything. That side of the temple shot has bodied a couple niggas this year. That shit is what got Masvidal his big win in the UFC. He caught a nigga with a flying knee to the side of the temple. If you catch a nigga with a shot to the side of the temple, you're going to be disoriented, dog. I got hit one time in a fight in my temple where I had to drop my body on the nigga to stop his momentum because it looked like everything was twisted.
Cut it. It said somebody gave him the wobbly there.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
All right.
Southside Deucey, what up, man? I seen you in the chat, man, yesterday, and I believe earlier today, but nigga, what up, man? Long time no talk.
Pat in Beantown.
What up, Pat? Yo, Pat, what up, homie? Talk to me. Pat in Beantown going once. Pat in Beantown going twice. All right, there we go. What up, big dog?
Yeah, what's good, Mike? I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving.
I hope you had the same.
Thank you. I didn't believe the 2,500 when I saw it either way, to be honest. That just seemed way too low. But I'm going to stick with my first prediction, which was like around 300,000 to 325. But I agree with the caller a couple of calls ago. Just kind of, I think it was John. Maybe not, but I'm more with the Dazn. Putting up $80 for a fight is just tough, you know. Unless you're having like a fight party like you, Mike. It's tough for one person just to put up $80. Like I'd much rather for Dazn. I feel like for the $10 a month, I'm getting like 3 lower tier fight, like bigger fights, and then 1 big fight a month usually. So it's like I feel like it's a lot more manageable for to pay. It's just tough to do like the $80 for the big pay-per-views, and I feel like with Dazn, people are kind of seeing that more and more. But yeah, I just wanted to come from that perspective.
Pat in Beantown, thanks for calling in. Enjoy the rest of your morning. We're going out to Stonebone Boxing, Colorado. Good morning.
What up?
What up, Stonebone?
Oh man, just
just getting my breakfast in, man. You know what I mean? A couple nice blunts. But the thing is, man, that even here in Southern Colorado, before I had ordered the fight, I was supposed to have some people come over, and then they ended up not coming in town. So I was gonna go out and watch it. They had over 100 public venues that were showing it, like movie theaters. I just Googled it, and that shit licked all of the places. So if that shit is going on in Southern Colorado, where the black population is pretty low, we got hella Indians, Mexicans, and white folks down here. Ain't no fucking way that other cities weren't doing the same type of thing. So if you got 100 venues in Colorado, just say 100 venues in 50 states, that puts you over 2,500. So it's just guys that's hating. You know what I mean? And you remember HBO never put out the amount before they re-showed the pay-per-view that next Saturday. You know what I mean? That became a talking point around that. Well, this fight did about this many pay-per-views during the re-show. You know what I mean? That became sort of a topic. So a lot of guys is talking about these niggas is traveling for Thanksgiving. Ain't none of them talk to nobody. So ain't nobody seen no accurate numbers in 4 days. You count the holiday and then you count the Sunday. It's been 3 business days since the fight. So stop it. Ain't nobody got no numbers. 300,000, 325. You heard it here. Peace, y'all.
Stonebone Boxing, man. Thanks for calling in. We're going out to Andy. Sorry about that. Andy D. Talk to me.
What up, Andy D?
Yeah, what's going on, Nez?
What up?
Mike, what's up? Yeah, first of all, I want to say Rick Glaser's call, absolutely quality. Yeah. Second, I want to say to all these Wilder fanboys that were predicting 750,000, 1 million buys, how do you expect that from a recycled fight against a 40-year-old man that's beaten nobody, that was on free TV last time? I mean, are these guys high or what? I mean, come on, talk about ripping the fuck out of your own fans. You can't be doing that, and I hope it's a lesson so he fights higher opposition. Fury's the A-side, all day UK, stand up.
Andy D, Fury fans coming out.
UK people are coming back.
No, that's a specific Fury fan, but that just is a good comparison because we get dozens of Wilder fans. We're going out to Johnny.
Johnny Blaze.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Mike? What's up, Ness?
What up?
Yeah, man. What up, big dog?
Man, I hope y'all enjoyed yourself yesterday. Check this out. I don't know if y'all heard, but Fanon did a video about Dan Raphael getting his rooms comped by Eddie Hearn. I want to know your opinion on that. Then do you have an opinion on the media getting comped by the promoters? Obviously, we talking about a narrative that been put out in the media about false numbers. I believe that's linked.
Where did he get that from? Where did he get that from?
I'm not sure. Barbershop Fred just did a video too, and I heard Eddie admitting to it. You know, Fred was playing the audio, so I don't know exactly where they got the audio.
I seen Eddie in an interview saying that he's gonna pay more media to come out.
No, I just heard Eddie come out his mouth said he paid for Dan Raphael's room, and it's hard to get him. He works for ESPN. It's hard to get him out of bed. You know, he admit to paying for his room in Dallas. So this is something I heard on a video for Fred. So I was more asking your opinion on. I was more curious about you and Mike's opinion on it. But I know you don't got all the information, so you really couldn't give your opinion on it.
Yeah, I need some sort of link. But yeah, man, thank you.
Honestly, if look, I'm just looking at a broad spectrum. If a promoter is paying for media to come out, I don't think it looks bad on the promoter. I think it's up to the person in the media to have, not saying that Dan doesn't, but it's up to the person in the media to have the integrity to give their honest opinion, opinion about what's going on and what they see. Not try to be favorable.
I mean, this is nothing new though, Mike. Teddy Atlas has been talking about this, about judges and referees.
But that's different though. Like judges shouldn't be getting comped rooms by promoters.
I think it's all. Listen to me. I think it's all. I think it's all in the same.
Bro, media and judges have an influence on what the come out of the fight can be. The media has an influence on what the story of the fight can be. That's a big difference.
I understand you. The only difference is that the other sports have a totally different level of coverage and awareness, and it's different. It's just completely different, man. Boxing is something completely different, man. So if they need to use unorthodox methods to raise awareness, as long as they're not paying for Rayfield's article, right?
Opinion.
As long as it's not a sponsored post, like, oh, this DAZN card was amazing, which he will not do. He's been doing this too long. He is one of the biggest. I just don't think that he would do that, man. I mean, the dude got over 250,000 followers.
No. They're not accusing him of doing anything. They're just saying like Eddie paid him from, but that's been like that's no problem. But
Man,
I don't
listen,
think Dan
listen,
is gonna
listen.
jeopardize his integrity to make an article that he doesn't necessarily agree with. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm not considered media. I'm just a guy on YouTube, right? So let him pay for our hotel, right, Mike? We want to go to Saudi. Fuck.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, nah, I ain't going to Saudi.
You ain't going to Saudi? I don't know, man. That's a big ass fight, bro. That's a big ass fight. That's a big ass fight. Andy family out there, man.
Bigger fight for us though, but I think it'd be bigger for us on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Like,
nah, you crazy. You crazy. If
you live stream from Saudi,
what?
You right.
Hell yeah,
You
from
right,
Saudi?
Right.
Showing people the behind the dune scenes?
Nigga, we got Joe Rogan numbers in this bitch.
What?
Oh shit, he in Saudi, y'all.
What? Nah, bro, that'd be crazy, man. Listen,
Have you seen
and the thing
pictures?
is, man, I'm sure people was afraid to go to Zaire and wherever. I'm sure it wasn't as dangerous as this. I'm just saying, like, there's always gonna be some reluctancy, some doubt, some nervousness, and obviously I have all those, and I'm just talking because I would need the whole goddamn thing paid for. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, hey,
everything, man. Put me on the jet with Andy, make it better. You know what I'm saying? Let me go with him.
Yeah, get that sit down with Andy for like 8 hours, 10 hours, like that.
Now we just dreaming, but hey, you ain't nothing wrong with dreaming.
Hey man, dream it, believe it, or become it. Shout out my nigga
Tunde doing his podcast with glasses now. Fucking.
I hear.
Yeah, sunglasses too. CYP.
He showed the fuck here.
CYP, talk to us. They blew up. It's over, man. Once you wear glasses indoors, you blew.
Man, it's over.
You big time. CYP.
All right.
Close us out, CYP. CYP is our official outro.
I got y'all like this, man. There's one way you can tell if a fighter has made it, where the hate just gonna bounce off of him. I'm gonna admit some shit. Hate bounces off of Canelo. Hate bounces off of AJ. And now hate bounces off of Wilder. The one reason why that is because when you get guaranteed money in excess of $20+ million for every goddamn fight, it don't matter what the fuck your views are. It don't matter if DAZN ain't streaming that much for Canelo versus Liam Smith. It don't matter if AJ versus Ruiz, nobody really saw it, but they gonna see the second one. It don't matter if you didn't see Ortiz too. It don't matter because them dudes getting paid regardless. And if they didn't get paid that money, they may make less money for a pay-per-view. Think about what I just told y'all. Deontay Wilder has officially made it. He's making $20+ million guaranteed for his fights. Finally, the man is here. Secondly, y'all made a fake cast, put him in the chat just to hate on CYP. Are y'all crazy? Y'all are continuing to determine that I'm the greatest caller y'all ever fucking seen. Last point, let's all welcome back Ralphie to the chat with your weak, weird-ass channel getting no views. I even gave you a couple views, man, to try to help you out. That didn't help. And since y'all care so much about views, let's ask Ralphie, how is YouTube channel doing? It's TBV. I ain't gonna say for life yet, but it's looking that way. And if y'all ain't on Patreon, too fucking bad. And if y'all want to Skype, too fucking bad. Call in like men. CYP out.
CYP out. That's GTO. Instagram and Twitter out. Mike.
Follow me on IG at Gross1911 or on Twitter at Gross2312 or follow me on Mike on Sports on YouTube, man. Content drop daily on both platforms.
Peace.